Good Lord. Okay, anyway, let's continue on. Rex tipped me $3 and said, how is it that you as a streamer make more money than you ever have in your life, but you're struggling each month? So here's someone talking about my financial problems, getting to my personal shit, basically being nosy and disrespectful, under the premise of tipping me $3, okay? None of your business, all right? As I said, sadly, in the past couple of months, there's been a few things that have happened behind the scenes I don't want to reveal to you guys because it's none of anyone's business. It won't help my situation to reveal these said things to you guys. And quite frankly, with the times when I have revealed things about what's going on in my life, why I'm financially strapped, all people did was complain. Oh, we don't want to hear about this. All we want is to play games. We don't understand why he bothers us with his problems, yada, yada, yada. To which I say, fair point. So why am I going to, you know, bother you with this stuff and tell you all my personal business? I'm not going to. All right. Now, that being said, Rex also, in his $3 tip, suggested that I see a financial consultant. Listen, I'm certainly not above taking advice about finance. The problem is I can't afford a financial consultant because I have no money. You can't hire a consultant to help you unless you have money to hire the consultant to help you. I don't have the money to hire the financial consultant to help me. Okay? But, you know, that's life. That's what happens, right? When you don't need something, you have it. And when you
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with 3 videos that's going to make up our broadcast today. Hope you guys are ready. All of them by one of our favorites, Snort Burnell. DSP. Haha, I got it right this time. First video, the low contributions continue. Hurtful. And people don't know how to choose games for events. Ouch. Second video, unbanning people again in exchange for money. Cheesing games and then presuming that they are easy, which sounds like the Phil Burnell way. And third and last video of the broadcast, one more night of chill streams. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and break all this down, when we think about low contributions, and we think of Phil Burnell or Darkside Phil, this isn't anything new. This is just kind of the ebb and flow. This is how things work. Contributions will always be low, and then eventually they'll come up, and eventually they'll gradually go up, and then they'll gradually go down. And when you think about how he tries to spin the narrative on contributions, like, hey, you guys aren't forced to give me contributions, but I need contributions to keep going. And he does the fear mongering that if you guys do not give him contributions, this is all going to go away and it's never going to come back. And then guess what? Your lives are going to be poor for it. Like, you guys can't go out and find other people to watch. Amazing nonsense. But that's just kind of the way it goes. So that's going to be kind of like cannon fire for us, unless he says something truly off his knocker. It'll probably be just another way. It'll just be another, day with that. People don't know how to choose games for events. Well, for one, since Phil usually skews the polls, he really just plays the games that he wants to play. And you guys are noticing that more and more. I think if you guys have been following Phil for any amount of time, or if you've been watching a lot of old Detractor content, you find that over the years, he went from playing every game to playing the games that people wanted to see and that he thought would bring him the most amount of money, to now him choosing the games that he wants to play. And I think, under reasonable circumstances, when you look at his YouTube metrics over the year, it proves that he's been failing, especially in this modern era, as he likes to call it, where he's choosing the games that he wants to play but gives you guys the illusion of choice. You know what I mean? Which is what it all is. It's just the illusion of choice. He makes you guys believe you guys have options and you don't. He makes you guys believe, and when I mean you guys, I mean people in his audience and in the cult. He makes them believe that they really have a say-so, and they really don't. They really, really don't. And just to give you guys an example of that, why is it that you guys have requests, or his audience has requests for video games right now, in the modern day, you know, today, if you will. But yet he wants to replay games from years ago that people asked him to play. Or just play games in general that they asked for him to play years ago and he never did. Why are we doing that when you have people today whose hearts are still pumping that you should be going ahead and, well, you know what I mean, being over dramatic with that, whose hearts are currently pumping right now, and you should be playing the games that they're asking for you to play right now. The new games, some of them. You know what I mean? Or just exciting games, or games that could be engaging, that could have which would allow the interaction that he says people come to him for now, being that he is an interactive streamer. I don't know. I'm just a brain dead detractor, so make of that what you will. And let's see here. Okay, unbanning people again in exchange for money. Come on, it's an old practice. So that is what it is. Cheesing games and then saying that they're easy. It's Phil Burnell. He's probably one of the best all-around players in the United States. Of course, every game is relatively easy until he starts rage quitting or coming up with excuses to make them chill streams, which leads or segues into our last point: one more night of chill streams. Now, or not one more night, but just one more chill stream. No, I was right. One more night of chill streams. Chill streams aren't going anywhere. It brings in the most amount of money, whether troll contributions or from the actual fan base itself. And it puts him in a position, so it seems to put him in a position at times where he can be a little bit more loose with what he's saying, or he comes in very, very, very agitated. In either which way, he's very talkative. See, the thing is about Phil, as I've said before, as other people have said, is he's very much a creature of habit. And it's really about just pressing his buttons. And one of the worst things that he's ever kind of done is allow people to know what buttons to push. And in turn, people can kind of get away with what they want. Now, most people, and rightfully so, would make the argument, well, the only reason why a lot of people get what they get out of him is because money is attached and he'll just go along with the scheme. That's true to an extent. But the night stream is a different type of animal. Now, I don't want to presume that anything is off tilter, but as I've talked to Agent Proper, as well as I've talked to other people, James the Lesser, I've had conversations with him, Jackal's Lair, shouts out to Jackal's Lair, and whatnot, and his in the birth of his child. So shouts out to you, my brother. Shouts out to you. I need to send you guys a gift now that I think about it. It's very possible, and we've joked about this before, but then again, I actually kind of believe it. That's the reason why I said it to some extent, is that he's probably drinking during that break, during his dinner break, if you will. You know what I'm saying? What is it, 3 hours? From 4 to 7, 4 to 7:30. Sometimes he runs late, sometimes he runs early. For Phil to go ahead and have to face his own failure day in, day out, which is what the morning stream, or the first stream of the day, is kind of proving, it would only make sense for one to want to have a drink to loosen up a little bit before, we start the ball off for the second stream. It's very obvious. That's what the situation is. In the morning, he's groggy, yawning at like 12 o'clock his time when he's only been up for like 2 hours, all kinds of silly nonsense. But at night, though, if he gets a shower in, then he's probably drinking. He probably gets himself a shot or two, maybe not a shot or two, but he probably makes himself a nice little cocktail. If he doesn't shower that day, which is awkward to say, he's probably having a drink or two before he comes back up, because he knows what the situation is. And also, it depends on the game too. I think with Black Ops, he might be a little bit more guarded with how much he's drinking, whereas with like Minecraft, he seems to slur quite a bit. MLB, he seems very, very agitated. It depends. It's kind of a mixed bag. I guess it depends on his day. So it's an interesting trifecta what the chill streams are, what the evening streams are. It's not necessarily a business model that makes really any sense, because really he's just choosing bad games. Minecraft as a chill stream, fair enough, but it looks like he's obviously dragging that shit out. Blackout makes some sense. MLB, I don't know why you're even playing. Why are you even playing sports games, Phil? You hate sports games. You hate sports. So why are you even doing that? You should have something else in that place. Street Fighter, to be honest with you, as you guys know, it's been reintroduced. Street Fighter should be part of that chill stream. But see, the thing is, though, is he has to be super competitive about that. Because if he loses, he's going to automatically have the presumption in his head that, oh, they're going to say I'm not good. They're going to say this, that, and the third. We're certainly going to laugh at it. And so that's why you see Super Turbo coming out sparingly. But I would like to mention something. This is another reason why he should play Street Fighter V. You hate the game. Everybody knows you hate the game. You might as well play it. Just saying. You might as well play it. It might be an interesting type of situation or an interesting type of circumstance that could come out of that. But with that being said, I have a proposal that I'm gonna probably bring up in the next couple broadcasts and whatnot. Think of it in some ways. I have to give it a little bit more thought, and I got to choose the game. I kind of have the idea for the game, to be honest, of think of it as like a universal tournament, which is what the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power was called before it ended up becoming Tournament of Power. It was supposed to be a universal tournament. But I'm thinking of something of a tournament. I'm thinking of some of the favorites that you guys know, some of your favorite detractors and so on and so forth participating in this. Maybe, maybe not. I guess, like I said, I have to pick a game. And I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. We'll see. On top of that, I keep not forgetting, but I haven't really figured out how to promote the Detractor Awards. As you guys know, a friend of ours of the channel here had proposed that last year, and I haven't really figured out how I'm going to go about that yet. I think really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach out to fellow detractors, and I'm going to have them just kind of push it. And it's just the main category is just who is your favorite detractor of the year. That's all it really comes down to. And then they'll have obviously you need Twitter to be involved in that, even Kiwi Farms to some extent, but certainly Twitter. And then they'll vote, and then I don't know, I can't remember exactly what the situation is with that. I'm gonna have to find Old Boy's email and then get that worked out. Now think about it, we have an email here, don't we? I'm gonna have to go ahead and I haven't checked that in a while. I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, so I got a lot to do before we talk about that, but I should mention that later on down the line. I think that would be interesting in itself. As I said last year with that, I do not want to be nominated and whatnot, so please don't. And there are people out there much more deserving. But in either which way, let's go ahead and get into the broadcast. That's just two of the things that I'm thinking about. As you guys know, we're still doing a bit of reconstruction over here after the soft opening of the SnortBucks coffee shop. So there's a lot of things going on and whatnot, but hopefully it all works out for the best. And we will find out moving forward, because you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to fall before you can stand up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Or, well... yeah, kinda, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. I guess that was an interesting example. Either which way, ladies and gentlemen, enough of all the bullshit. Let's go ahead and get started right now. I have my SnortBucks coffee here, so I'm feeling a bit more calm about it. And let's get into the broadcast at hand, shall we? Enough rambling on my part. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG network and production. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet. So it's time for me to go ahead and start cutting bacon off this bat. Because that's what we do here. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to watch me work. Yeah, Universal Tournament thing sounds like a good idea, though. Nice.
This is how I play the game!
That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the first video of our broadcast, brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. Excuse me. Let's see. The low contributions continue. People do not know how to choose games for events. So sad. So hurtful. Here we go. Oh, this is when for any of you guys who are watching on screen, if you guys aren't, don't worry about it. But basically, what this small segment is just the bottom line, or the bottom line is basically being woke. And he had some pretty hot takes in here. One of the main ones, though, is that bro, this entire time the detractors have been telling the truth. He just got woke. That's really all that is.
Oh my god! Anyway, guys, tonight, if you cheer, sub, or tip, I'll give you a shout out. Much appreciated if you do. Because I'll be very honest with you guys, earlier today was very slow.
Look at that shit. $13 for 4 hours of work. Woo, hurtful. But then again, we're coming off. We have to, coming off the top, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about an individual who made $2,500 only a week or two previous. So he's lucky to really get anything, as well as still having a PayPal that's pumping out $400. You know what I mean? I doubt anybody's buying anything off of his Teespring, so that's the thing. Speaking of which, a Teespring, let me go ahead and there's two people actually I should promote. Sunspot Galleries, who has Sunspot Gallery, sorry, who has a Teespring. You guys should definitely check that out. If I don't have the link in the video as soon as this comes out, I will get it. So I have to reach out. Or matter of fact, if Sunspot is actually, if you're watching the video, dude, I'd appreciate you just putting it in the comment section, and then I'll just start putting that into all my videos from now on. And obviously, another good friend of ours, Agent Proper of the DIA, who actually has just rolled out with his very first shirt for the DIA and whatnot. He has a Teespring also. I will also, if Agent Proper remembers, or if anybody who follows Agent Proper or who's already purchased a shirt or who's considering on it, if they have the link to his Teespring, please link that down in my description. I'll link all of that in, put that in the comment section. I will link all of those in my description in future broadcasts moving forward. As well as Dante Crisis. I think he still has his shirt shop up. I'm just going to get all that together so you guys can have some options, so you guys can kind of support your local detractors, if you will. But so that's the thing. All right, sorry for that plug. Excuse me. So $13. He's lucky to get anything when you think of all of his revenue streams and so on and so forth. And that we don't know, or at least at this time, I don't know what he made in subs and what he made in cheers and bits. So $13 is $13. Everybody, and you see how the focus is on tips because he wants that immediate money, even though he advocates for you guys to use these other sources, which people do. So him complaining about $13 is nothing. It's minuscule. But what that also says, ladies and gentlemen, is something that I've said before, as well as others, is that he needs to cut back on how much he's streaming. What I mean is, either the night streams, if they're the most profitable, then guess what? Start the evening stream early and then carry late. And don't worry about doing a morning stream. Spend that time, allegedly, air quotes, with Catherine and Jasper. Spend your morning doing that. Spend your morning figuring out how you're going to, structure your game. Spend that time, maybe, I don't know, cleaning your house. Maybe, not letting Catherine do all of it. Maybe going out and getting yourself a little exercise. Walking Jasper down putting Jasper on a leash and walking Jasper down the street. There are cat owners who do that. Stuff along those lines. He could do something with that maybe 2 or 3 days a week. Maybe just don't do a morning stream. just cut that out, especially as you're seeing in this, even in the steady flow of everything, I should say, that it's starting to become less and less profitable, especially when he comes off of large hauls of cash. You know what I mean? So that's what he should consider doing. But that also, and not to drag us out too much longer, this right here also is a representation of what people think of that whole Jasper reveal. He wants to keep pig squealing to you that it was so successful, and people were very supportive of it, and people were very happy for him and Catherine, and so on and so forth. But in actuality, the money right here doesn't show that, and the money doesn't show that because he's greedy. How's it that you just made $2,500 on top of the fact that you're going to get paid from Twitch and YouTube soon, and yet you're saying, you know, contributions are low and I really need this money? It seems very odd. But don't worry, people will break the numbers down eventually because that's what happens. Here we go.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. Like, I don't know what happened earlier today, but it was crazy slow on the first stream with contributions. One of the slowest streams I've seen in months.
You know how rude it is to ask.
Another thing too, I want to actually bring up to you guys. If the streams are slow, if you know the morning streams are slow, I should say, because they were slow before he got all that cash, before that cash came in, that cash influx, infusion, if you will. Why doesn't he concentrate on actually having an entertaining stream in the morning or the first stream of the day? Why isn't his focus on making that as entertaining as possible, make it as engaging as possible, so on and so forth? And then this way, the nighttime stream, the chill streams, if you will, can garner even more attention and people can be even more supportive there. Let me kind of explain what I'm thinking. So, for any of you guys who follow the music business or have been in the music business for any type of period, whether you're underground or you keep up with people who are signed, so on and so forth. It's all basically a form of corporate slavery, either which way, depending on how you look at your contract. If you think about it this way, CDs are not the measuring stick of your success per se. Meaning that you're not going to make $1 million off your CD sales or off of your or off vinyl, because I'm starting to collect vinyls. You can thank Tevin for that. Praise be. Even though I had a decent collection beforehand, but still, whatever. I'm more motivated now. Damn it. But your CD sales or your digital downloads, which is really the thing. If for those who don't, I like actually having a hard copy, to be honest. But or your digital downloads are not the measuring stick, or not the way of you kind of flaunting your success, because you're not going to make a shitload of money off your music being circulated like that. It's all promotion. To make a long story short, they're all promotion. Your digital downloads or your CD sales or vinyl or whatever the case may be, whatever the median is used to go ahead and put your music out there to the masses, is merely promotion. As you guys know, the majority of your money, if not almost the bulk of your money, comes from touring. Touring is where the money's at. That's where all of the bread's at. And if you're someone like some of these older rappers or older R&B singers or so on and so forth, a lot of them go to Europe and they go out there and make crazy money. Like, you know, people go to Dubai and make like $750,000 to do like 11 or 12 songs. Stuff like that. They make really good money doing that stuff. Soulja Boy made a lot of money doing that, for example. So let's look at both streams as the same way, yeah? So the first stream is his digital download. It is him promoting himself, if you will. While the night stream is the actual main event. Okay? That's what this is. So in a lot of ways, you could say, like, the morning, so let's use a wrestling term. So the morning stream is really just kind of like, it's the pre-show, if you will, and then the night stream is SmackDown or Raw or NXT, whatever you want to call it. That's what that kind of situation works. If Phil would have that type of approach, he would have much more viewership. He would have a higher level of viewership at night, and more money would come in. Because it's very obvious that the morning stream just doesn't, it's financially not feasible. So he would have to run some more ads, and he should just focus on being a better entertainer in the morning, or for that first stream. That's how you should start the day off strong, I should say. While the night stream, he could reap some of the rewards if he played it smart. But Phil won't do that. He won't do that at all. And the reason why is his ego won't let him. Because why make the sacrifice of trying to get as much money in the morning and at night, or just off both streams? Why go ahead and make the sacrifice of surrendering the morning stream for just promotional purposes and then gain big at night when theoretically he should be able to have both? He should be able to have his cake and eat it too, and eat Catherine's. And if Jasper keeps acting up, he gets his little slice taken away too. And that's why he's not self-sustaining. One of the arguments that's been pointed out, or that's been brought up and is being pointed out, is that the detractors are, though they make a very small amount, or I shouldn't say detractors, but I should say like the trolls, the critics, whatever, detractors, you might as well just roll us all into that bubble. We are, 10% of what he makes of his income? Some people say it's less, some people say it's more. But we're measurable. There's a measure, you know what I'm saying? You can measure the amount that is being contributed, whether by a troll or on behalf of the whole movement itself, whatever you want to say. If you completely cut that off, what do you do? Now, my general thought process is this. If you cut that money away altogether, that's a hit. 10%, even 12% or 15%, whatever it is a hit. He's going to feel it. But it's not just that. Once you take that factor out of the equation, now how does his fan base, and I mean the casual fan base, I'm not talking about the hardcore ones, how does the casual fan base over there kind of handle it? They pull back too, because they have no need to they have no need to compete, because there's no one there to compete with, because the hardcore zealots over there who are just, you know, completely devoted to Phil are going to come through with large amounts either which way, which means all is left is the really hardcore grouping of it all. That's your Golden Colts, that's your Rob Warrens, that's your Super Blind Man, your Planet Jeff, just name a few. I'm not even sure if I could say Golden Colts is a zealot like that, though. He might not. I'm on the fence about Golden Colts, but the other ones pretty much fall into that equation. So now they have to produce more money more often, and I'm pretty confident that that's not something that's in their repertoires. I'm not sure. I'm not going to presume what their financial statuses are, but I doubt that's something that they can do on the regular. So then what? Now Phil has to change again, but what does Phil change to? What does he move himself over to at that particular point? Just something to think about. You know what I mean? When you look at contributions and you look at how slow things are and so on and so forth, this should be some of the warning signs to let him know that you need to change. Just like when his focus was YouTube and views are getting low. Maybe something about you needs to change, but he won't do it. Everybody else has to change so he can continue to succeed, or just to move forward, instead of the man himself, which all of this revolves around, allegedly, making the changes needed for his own success, his own longevity. I don't know. I'm feeling rather open-minded, I guess. Here we go.
Ask people about money. You should not ask about fucking money. I don't know why, because I was playing GTA 4. I was enjoying the game, and people seemed to be telling me they were enjoying the playthrough. So I don't know why that happened like that. I certainly don't control that stuff, nor do I understand if and why, when it happens, you know, what's really going on. Basically, here's a whiny baby. Give me the money. Give me money.
Also, another thing I want to talk to you about is, remember, just the first thing that he said that came out of his mouth. I don't understand why contributions are so low. I'm enjoying the game. First point, I am enjoying the game. Second point, everybody else says they're enjoying the game. I don't know what the problem is. I don't understand the issue. I'm not able to control any of these things. Maybe, just maybe, you being the focus is the problem. Maybe that's the problem. You're supposed to be an interactive streamer, which means that your primary focus is on what the audience wants to see, so in turn they can, you know, contribute their contributions to you, and this was what makes the machine run. But if you're still going to continue to hold on to this rather pathetic narrative that it's about me, and then all of you guys are secondary and third and fourth, you guys aren't really relevant. You're just there when I need you. That's why the system fails. And I don't understand why it's so hard for him to figure that out. Because it's not it's not difficult. This isn't brain surgery. This is just how business works. He's not a type, because he plays so many games, yeah, and he's bad at all of them. He's not like someone like a Dr. Disrespect or a Shroud or a Ninja or some of these, or a Tim the Tat Man, or some of these guys who can kind of fluctuate between whatever games they want to play, but you know what to expect when you get there. Like, Dr. Disrespect is going to play Apex Legends. He might play a little bit of Fortnite. He's going to play Battlegrounds. He's going to play what else does he play? He plays a little bit of Siege, actually. He plays a little bit of Call of Duty. That is pretty much revolving around first-person shooters. That's what his situation is going to be. And when one pisses him off over some dumb shit, that bitch gets uninstalled, and then boom, he'll play something else. So he swaps through games rather often. But it's not about money. It's about his irritation with the game. Or if he gets out, or if someone gets the drop on him, and over a period of time. It's part of the gimmick. That's what a lot of people don't really get to understand. Like, Dr. Disrespect at his core is an entertainer. And it's hilarious how he can inject a little bit of reality into what the gimmick is, and he can sell you on it. Phil can't do that. Because Phil doesn't understand it. Because for Phil, there has to be a payoff more than just the entertainment factor. And that's sad. Because if your focus is on entertainment, then everything else will come over time. You know what I'm saying? Money will come in, recognition, and so on and so forth. If you try to go out there and chase it, you're only going to push people away. And you would think after all these years of this idiot being online, he would recognize that. But he didn't. Or he just didn't want to, which leads him to the situation now. So now we're going from the YouTube business model, which he completely and totally fucked up on his own, to now a Twitch model that is just slowly but surely drying itself up, and he knows why, but he doesn't want it to change, or he doesn't want what he has to contribute to it to change, I should say. He expects everybody else to kind of just fall in line and pick up the slack, which is not going to happen.
Give me your money.
Wow, now my browser completely crashed on my laptop. Like 100% just died. I didn't close it. I told it to close just the chat window, and the whole browser just closed on me. Oh my god. Later tonight, after the stream ends, I'm going to make the poll by which you guys can vote.
Now, one more thing about that, sorry. The situation with the laptop, we've already talked about this, but that's going to be something that's going to be interesting moving forward too, because he's playing the same narrative that he did with the PS4. Oh, I'm having problems here, having problems there. He did that for over a year with the PS4. He's doing the same thing with the laptop. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Christmas of this year that either he talks about maybe getting a new laptop or asking people to contribute to it, or someone just comes out of nowhere and donates one. But he's been establishing that for the last couple months. That is a thing. So keep an eye out for that moving forward. He did the same thing with his television too.
On the games for the Rageathon, I'm going to be very honest with you guys right now. I'm not too pleased with the games that look like they're going to make it to the final poll. It just seems like, once again, people don't seem to understand the criteria of what makes a good Rageathon. Like, for example, for the second year in a row, people nominated Street Fighter V, and I'm like, you guys nominated Street Fighter V last year, and I didn't rage when I played it, and you complained that it wasn't good for the Rageathon. And I was like, okay, well, you guys nominated it, not me, so hopefully you learned from it.
I don't know. He did have a lot of salty moments, though. He had a shitload of salty moments last year, which is the reason why it keeps popping up. Because everybody knows he hates the game. He's not very good at it, despite what he says. He squeaks by on 20-year-old tactics, which is just really the most scrubbiest shit ever, really, to be honest with you. He's not willing to devote himself to the game at all. And you can't treat every game like a Super Turbo. But anyway, it causes frustration. Even when he wins, he's pissed off. It's a good choice. And it's a game that he automatically hates. It's supposed to be a Rageathon. The focus is supposed to be your animosity towards the game. Street Fighter V is a perfect pick. It's a perfect fit, I should say.
And now it's nominated again. It's like, why did you do that?
Fucking idiots. They're dumb fucks.
I don't understand it. Like, I'm honestly flabbergasted. Did you not learn from a year ago? Same thing with Crash Team Racing. So Crash Team Racing was nominated for the Rageathon. That's great, but I already did everything there is to do in Crash Team Racing. All right. So if I played,
I mean, you could play it at a higher difficulty. That would probably be an ideal situation. And secondly, why are you bitching about the games? Because the games really, ladies and gentlemen, don't even matter. He's going to fake it anyway. He's going to embellish his reactions either which way. So why is he complaining? Oh, because he wants everything to be done his way. He wants the situation to be comfortable and entertaining for him. Thinking that if he's having a great time, then you guys should be, by proxy, having a good time, and then you're going to give him money. And he's still not smart enough to realize that if you're not willing to put the audience first, you're going to fail. The days of people kissing your ass and throwing you large amounts of money is dwindling. That's just as the pay piggies are in a lot of ways. But, you know, he's the businessman, right?
again, you guys are probably going to say, okay, go back and do the time trials. Okay. So I'll play them a few times. I mean, I'm not going to be playing Crash Team Racing for more than like an hour to an hour and a half tops. I'm sure they'll be challenging, but I don't see why that's going to cause me, like, rage. Like, for
why are you playing time trials anyway? It has a multiplayer. It has an online multiplayer. You should be playing that. Why is it that he's trying to basically skew the parameters? No one wants to see him rage in a time trial. No one gives a shit about a time trial. He's supposed to be online, getting that ass handed to him, everybody laughing, and him being pissed off. Or at least faking like he's pissed off.
I mean, when I think Rageathon, I think, you want me to play Super Meat Boy, or you want me to play I Want to Be the Guy, or you want me to play Mario Maker 2 stages that are, like, insanely difficult, just like the last time that I did those with the spikes and everything. Like, that's...
Why? I don't want to see you fucking die 300 times on Mario Maker, unless you're picking a really good stage, or a really good stage is. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see you play Super Meat Boy because you're terrible at it already. And I don't want to see That's the Guy because you're just going to complain about your wrist or something because it hurts. Those are all boring things. That you bitching about how this is all strenuous on you means nothing compared to the entertainment value of you playing a game and failing at it in an entertaining sort of way. Yet again, I don't understand why this is hard to pick up.
Stuff that I thought you guys were going to want to see, and instead it just seems to be kind of like, oh, this is stuff that Phil raged at in the past. A perfect example here, people nominated UFC online play, and people nominated Mario Tennis Aces online play. And I'm like, talk about missing the mark. These are games I haven't played in years.
Those are good choices. Actually, those, as Snort Burnell said, those are very good choices. And on top of that, those are games where he has a history of not doing well in, per se. And because he hasn't played the games in a long time, even better. Even better. Let Mr. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the best, you know, I'm probably one of the most accomplished video game players in the country. Let him learn everything on the fly and try to succeed. Yet again, these are all the narratives needed for a Rageathon. Not picking some comfortable ass games that you're just going to sit there and trot along with for an hour and a half. No one wants that. You're wasting people's time. But see, that's the point. The point is to waste your time on this event and just give him money. And then he gives you some fake responses every once in a while. That's a regular stream. You don't need to pay him additional money for that. But they did, though. Because that's what the sub goal was.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you... How am I supposed to even know how to play them? Like, if I play Mario Tennis, I'm not going to know what the fuck I'm doing.
There's
not going to be...
There's a menu for your controls? Huh? Look up the controls, or look up the instructions on your phone like you do for everything else. Why is it that he has to be good at every game that he plays so he doesn't completely embarrass himself? It's supposed to be a Rageathon. That's supposed to be the point, right? But no, he wants to have a level of comfort. He needs to have a comfort level in it. You know what I'm saying? First, and then and then I'm okay with playing it. Here, let's look at it another way. So Mario Tennis has been nominated. On his off time, right? Why don't he have Kat come up in there? Well, she might have to clean the room first. But why doesn't he have Catherine come into the room and they play a couple of matches just amongst themselves? For fun, Phil, which is what video games are made for. Why don't you guys do that? Why don't you guys play some of these other games that were nominated amongst each other, having a good time with it? Catherine still plays games for fun. despite the fact that she looks like she enjoyed streaming and she enjoyed YouTube videos, and you forced her to give that up. So the least you could do is actually, I don't know, spend some time with her playing this thing that supposedly you both love. But I know, that's a whole different narrative. I'm sorry.
Rage-inducing, it's going to be me flubbing around, not even knowing the controls, and not caring that every game I get dominated because I don't know how to play the game. Same thing with UFC. How long has it been since I played a UFC game? What, 2 years? So you really expect that I'm going to remember how to play this game or care if I lose? Like, no, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to boot it up, I'm going to go to play online, it's going to be lost, because I don't even know the basic controls.
Oh my god, dude, just shut up.
But that's what happens in Street Fighter V unless he goes to, like Ryu or something. And even then, he's still going to take some L's. Same concept. Oh, I don't know any of the combos. I don't know what this is. I don't know how the new combo setups are. He complains about that shit all the time too, but if you pay him, he'll still play it. And you guys paid for a Rageathon, and yet he's giving you reasons. He's trying to discourage you, if you will, to on the games that you're playing. What he doesn't realize is he's discouraging people in general from supporting it again. I wouldn't expect another one. Well, maybe 1 or 2 more of these, and that's probably going to be a wrap. So he's literally killing off the product. Yet again, great businessman, right? What was that certification he has? That ACE certification? You know what I'm saying? That continuous improvement shit? It's funny how in a year he was able to revamp the helicopter company, right? The helicopter business. But yet he can't do anything for himself here. And this is directly affecting him. So he's willing to put his best hoof forward to help other people make money, but he won't do it for himself. That's why he needs crowdfunding. That's why he needs crowdfunding. That's why he doesn't want to be a corporate shill. He doesn't want to make other people money. Amazing.
Just shut up and stop whining. Ugh. Smash Me tipped me $1. He says, here's some advice. Stop talking. Get on with the fucking game.
And everyone's going to complain, wow, this really was not a good idea. Why was this nominated? I agree. I agree with those people. I don't know what people are thinking for this Rageathon. Then there's games that don't even make sense, like Fire Emblem got 7 nominations, but number 1, people didn't even specify which Fire Emblem game, so I have to assume that they were talking about the new Fire Emblem game, which I'm not getting. I'm not spending $60 on a new release to play it for an hour during the Rageathon.
Well, he's so ungrateful.
But then again, you're being an idiot. Maybe you play Fire Emblem, for the Rageathon, and then people actually like it, and then you can actually turn it into a full playthrough. You just start it over, and then you start a brand new playthrough for it. You're multitasking, so it doesn't seem like it goes to waste. Theoretically, he should be doing that with almost every game on the Rageathon that will allow continuous playing. You know what I mean? He should, especially since he complains about, oh, there's no real games out right now, or so on and so forth. He could turn the majority of those into chill games, or he can use them to alternate between the new releases. I don't play video games for a living, and I can kind of see the method to it. Wow.
He's so ungrateful. He's a greedy asshole.
This was never even a qualifying criteria. I don't know why people thought I was going to play Fire Emblem for 90 minutes for $60. That's not happening. So, you see what I mean? None of this seems to me, it's just really disappointing to me that these are the games that seem to have been nominated. I'm gonna take a second look tonight, because I have to confirm exactly what's been nominated and everything. But I closed the thread so no one else can nominate games, and we'll see what happens, okay?
So I think I'm almost got stuff working. What a mess. I don't know what happened. The whole laptop completely crashed on me.
So, hint, hint, hint. Alright, so remember, guys, if you cheer Silver Tip tonight, I will give you a shout-out. I hope that we do get some contributions tonight, because like I said earlier today, my god, it was one of the deadest streams for contributions. Not actually for gameplay or participation, people were actually being nice and interacting. There were a bunch of trolls, too, don't get me wrong. But in general, I don't know what happened with the contributions, that they were so slow. So we'll see what happens tonight, I guess. And also tonight, like I said, we're going to see, based on how this goes tonight, we're going to see tonight how Madden does. If Madden does well, great, we'll keep doing it as a chill stream. If not, we don't have to play it again.
Now, I guess he will continue to play Madden because he made $57, but if you think about the measuring stick that was established earlier, you know what I'm saying, the bar that was set at $13, I mean, it is what it is. But it's obvious that the heavy contributors are going to show up at night over, the daytime stream. So, yet again, why can't we just go back to my original formula and go with that for a little while? Instead of you sitting there bitching and complaining about, the morning stream it had great participation, meaning people were being nice to him, which is kind of stupid, to be honest. And the viewership was there, sorry. But there was some trolls, so that's him injecting, drama. But overall, the contributions just were really, really low. But then he sits there and he backsmacks or backhooves these people saying, you guys are idiots. You guys don't know how to choose games. You don't know what an actual Rage-a-thon really is. Then fuck you. You choose the games then. And then you sell it to people and you keep selling it to them so they can contribute contribute subs to the Rage-a-thon then. Do that. You set up what the games are going to be. Fuck this voting system, since you're already pissed off at it or you find it to be irritating to you anyway, and they're all just idiots, right? You go ahead and set the 5 games for the Rage-a-thon, and you sell it until you hit the goal for that month. And if you don't sell it, whose fault will it be? If the games aren't good for them, or if they're games that they don't like, right? But you thought were going to be really good games and were going to be rage inducing, and you can't make the goal up, I guess that really means you don't understand the audience. I guess you don't understand what they want and what they want to see. The level of practicality is, I play these rage games that you want me to play. I rage, fake or not, for Phil will be fake, and then everybody kind of goes along their way happy with what little they got out of it. What's the problem? What's the problem? It's a simple formula. It's flawed fundamentally, but it can work if you just stop being an idiot. And more importantly, in the long term, all he's going to do is just discourage people from actually contributing. He's going to discourage people from doing it because look at how he's acting right now. Just saying.
It seems like every month, people step up and support me, and they get me through another month, and then the next month, here we go again. The God just tipped me $1 and says, here's $1 because you still think that money is the end-all and be-all when it comes to life. You'll find out the hard way. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
Indeed he is. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and move on to the second video of our broadcast. I'll see you guys literally in just a second.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Alright, continuing on, the next person is...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the second video of our broadcast. Snort Burnell, DSP. Unbanning people again in exchange for money and cheesing games, and then presuming that they are easy. Here we go.
Lost Son of Phil tipped me $5, and that is the top tip of the day, first of all. Alright, the Lost Son of Phil says the following. I think he has a lot to say, so let's see here. First of all, he says, I have 2 comments. Why do you cheese your way in boss battles and then boast that it was easy?
Overinflated ego.
That is way too general of a comment to make, because you gave no frame of reference of what you're talking about. I do not always cheese every boss. In fact, I wouldn't even know how to say, how do you cheese every boss, when in reality, most games I play honestly for the first time. I don't even know anything about the bosses,
Yeah, I can't find the solution to this. No one has it. I'd have to watch someone's video playthrough of the game to get this. Yeah. No one has a fact up that has the solution at all. Wow.
In essence, when I'm playing a game for the first time, I always go in cold turkey, and try to give it, like, as they say, a good old college try. Now, if I get stuck on the boss, yeah, I'll accept advice and or tips on how to beat it. But in general, I don't go in with any prerequisite knowledge of how to fight said boss. So it may just be that I get lucky and you think that I somehow...
Let's stop lying to ourselves. Anybody who's watched Phil for any period of time knows that he's just fundamentally terrible at games. How many times is he playing like Dark Souls and he still just does poorly? For someone who's played it as many times as he's played, you would think he'd have a better grasp of it. Like when you see him play and you see Wings play, you can see night and day. You can see a fundamental difference, and despite the builds, right, you can tell that there's just a general understanding of of how things should go. You know what I mean? Or having a better control of, having a better idea or understanding of the controls, so in turn you can kind of fundamentally control your environment a little better. These are concepts that Phil doesn't have, hence the reason why he fails the way he does.
Cheesed the boss or whatever, but in reality I didn't.
And Phil's a liar, so you don't think he wouldn't cheat either to get his way? People saw that in what was that, Sekiro? One of the two. Sorry, you know my pronunciation is terrible. But same thing with that. He admitted that he looked up where the secret areas were and where all the special hidden stuff was. You're telling me he would go through the trouble, not that it was real trouble, but he would go through the effort to look all that stuff up and not look at how to beat bosses? Which, after he started looking up the secrets, all of a sudden the boss battles were looking more and more easy. Just like how the last boss battle, allegedly, he beat it the quickest. He beat it quicker than anybody else did in the world. He holds that record. Ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? Like silly shit like that. He's fundamentally a cheater. He will do anything to get over. He has looked at other people's videos before. Shit, at the end of one playthrough that he couldn't finish, this is like DSP lore, he used somebody else's video. He played it, somebody else's video, or somebody else's ending, and just attached that onto his own. So you're telling me this guy wouldn't look up? He wouldn't look up how to figure out how to beat bosses. And he got lucky. He got lucky. That's what it was. You're mistaking what looks fundamentally suspicious as luck. That's what it is. Despite the fact that our boy gets lottery tickets, and how many pots has he taken home? How many scratch offs has he won? And I would assume, now that I bring this up because Phil does like playing the lotto, I assume he has won at least once in a while. You know, a couple of $100 here, a couple $100 there. They're probably few and far between, but I'm pretty confident he's won. He wouldn't tell anybody that though. He would not tell anybody that because he's very, very guarded about that whole lottery thing. If you ask him, he'll say, "Oh, I used to buy lottery tickets," or maybe Cat picked up one if the pot gets big enough. But other than that, I don't buy lottery tickets, man. I don't do that. Nah, I assume he buys lottery tickets weekly. He's a creature of habit, so I would assume he buys them weekly. I would assume he's not spending much. I mean, $5-10, which is a lot. He should be only really spending like $2, but you know, go with that what you will.
Or at least I just got lucky, and that's how I knew how to, or figured out how to do it.
Chronic liar.
Now if you're talking about a certain game franchise or whatever, and you want to address a certain situation, great. I'd love to respond to that, but I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so thank you for the $5 tip, and I don't know how to address that because I don't have enough information really to be more specific. Okay. Now your second question, he says.
But even if he did pick out a specific moment, right? All you would do is say, "I don't remember," or you would brush it off and being like, "I had a great playthrough all the way up to that thing, so I knew exactly what I need to do." Those are going to be the two examples of pig-splaining. I know that, so I would assume that all of them know that too. That's why he made the, if you want to call it wasn't really a blanket statement, but that's why he made the statement the way he did. Because it kind of, sort of, applies to almost all boss fights. And Phil knows that. He's not stupid. He just couldn't figure out a really good way to insult the guy, so he didn't.
Against you is that you mimic other accents and stereotypes, but I find it hilarious personally. Again, I don't know what you're talking about. Like we talked about this the other day. I have certain mannerisms in my speech patterns. Like, for example, I'll say, "The bottom line is," all the time. Okay? That's just something that I say. It's just something that somehow got into my dialect, my way of talking. I don't know. It didn't,
actually, I was just watching a recent video with him, John, and Howard. Howard says that a lot. But obviously Stone Cold Steve Austin says it a lot too. It didn't just somehow wiggle into his vocabulary. It's something that he picked up. It was something that was it rings in his head. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something, like it was, he heard it at a time where either it was exuding intimidation or it was exuding confidence, and he grasped onto it.
But I say the bottom line is a lot. I use certain words like okay, etc. to kill time while I'm talking live, because what that does is allows my brain to have extra processing time to think about what I want to say. In fact, back in the day, I used to be known as, wow, you're one of those YouTubers that you can just go on a tear, and your videos are always one take. You don't do jump cuts.
Like, there's no effort here at all.
Minimum effort, minimum money and time involved, maximum profit.
You don't do multiple takes like every other YouTuber. Instead, you just talk to the camera at length, and it's pretty impressive that you can do that and not need a cut or an interruption. It's obvious that you have the ability to, on the fly, formulate thoughts in your head.
People are watching because they like...
I don't know where he got that from, but I do remember on some of the videos that still have comments, obviously, you can hear people saying, hey, why don't you consider cutting this part out or cutting that part out? It might be a bit more helpful for you moving forward. It makes the video seem a bit more concise. And he came up with his excuses. Nice. That was a nice spin, though, Phil. That was a real nice spin.
My personality, they like.
And
how
not to
I
say
react.
that people may have not have said that to him, but I think the latter beats that all out. I think way more people have said to him, "Hey, Phil, you need to cut some of that out. It's just not helping." And he's admitted that people have told him to do that, and he won't do it, or he didn't do it, I should say, and he won't do it now because it's supposed to be part of the raw experience. Raw experience. Oh boy. Anyway, it's supposed to be part of the raw experience, and why take away from that?
To video games when I play them, they like interacting with me on a daily basis and hanging out. You know what I mean?
And say what you want to say all at once, rather than these other YouTubers who constantly are cutting and cutting their videos up. It's obvious they don't. They probably take a million cuts and just formulate, edit together what they want to say at the end of the day out of all the stuff that they've recorded. Okay? And it's true. But because of that, because I'm kind of known as a one-take guy, number one, I think that's why I do so good on streams. Like, on streams, you can't edit what you're saying, right? So you need to have that kind of free-flowing thought pattern that allows you to say what you want to say on the fly and in reaction to what you guys are saying and doing live, immediately.
The reaction...
No, that's certainly not true. Well, at least not the way he's wording it. But if that's the case, Phil, why is it that right before you actually start the YouTube video, you go on these little tantrums, or these little spiels about how you really need people to support, or you guys really need to keep an eye out on all these detractors that are coming in trying to troll us, or how you guys are or how you are really having a bad day, and how you guys really don't want any bullshit, you just need people to be positive, and so on and so forth. Sound like a school teacher really talking to a group of delinquents. Why is stuff like that cut off, or cut out, if you will? If it's supposed to be all free-flowing. Another thing is, and this is one of the reasons why I think he actually does this. Why isn't his VODs on Twitch, why aren't they accessible at the end of the day? I want you to think about that for a minute. Why are his videos on demand on Twitch not accessible the moment the stream's done? He deletes them immediately. Why does he do that? Because people, and now most of you would be like, well, doesn't he just upload all of that to YouTube? Yes, except for the segments the segment that I was just talking about, where you have his little real talk segment for about 5 minutes before the YouTube video starts, or when the YouTube video ends, in air quotes. He cuts, and that's the reason why he gets rid of the VOD so fast, because he doesn't want people grabbing that stuff. That's what really bothers him. Which is kind of funny, because didn't he blame Tevin for doing that exact same thing when he used to stream? Oh, he gets rid of the streams and stuff, so we can't prove anything. You know what I mean? He's getting rid of the evidence. Phil had been doing that before Tevin did it, and Tevin didn't get rid of them. They just went on to another channel. So, huh? so yet again, why does Phil feel the need to get rid of the VOD so quickly? What is he trying to hide? I thought it's all supposed to be free-flowing, right? This is his forte. This is his talent. So why does everything seem like he's sneaking around hiding stuff? Just wondering. Just my opinion.
content is the worst kind of content. It's I have nothing to say or do myself. I can't do anything creative or positive for myself. So instead, I take what other people say and do, and then I comment on it. That's not creative content. That's the easiest way out, because I'm not going to sit here and be a fucking Muppet for a camera and completely overreact on purpose to draw an overreaction to try to make money. You know, I've never...
Despite the fact that you do that all the time. Secondly, as it pertains to reactions, it's people want to hear other people's opinions. You've done reactions. What are you talking about? And you didn't really do well at that either, now that I think about it. There's a lot of stuff that you just haven't done well at. Like, if you really think about his legacy, right? He only grasps onto it. Sorry about that. Because he's been doing it for so long. He really can't tell you any of the milestones or any of the real points of success that he's had doing it. Where's his big awards? Where are the accolades that go with his 11-year career, air quotes? Where are all those things? He doesn't ever bring any of those things up because, well, they're not there. All he can do is say, I've been around for X amount of time. And then you can add the caveat to that I've outlasted this person and that person. That's nothing to write home about, to be honest.
Been like that. You guys know that I'm a genuine dude. That's not me. I'm not Mr. Ridiculous, ham it up overreaction nonsense. All right. Live reaction to something is basically you overreacting to get a response from your viewership, and it works because people are gullible.
Yeah, there's no edit, no jump cuts, no time for me to edit videos. It's just I gotta be able to think on my feet. So if anything, having that ability on YouTube over the years actually really aided me when I went into live streaming full time. But in particular, you're saying I copy certain mannerisms and accents and stereotypes. I don't know about that. I don't actively try to do that at all. Maybe it's happened over the years. Maybe I've absorbed certain mannerisms and ways that I say things and accents. I have no idea. All I know is I grew up in Connecticut. I speak just like everyone else who lives in Connecticut. It wasn't like people in Connecticut told me that I spoke weird. Basically I talk just like people who live there, okay? I did notice when I started making videos for YouTube that people would say, oh, he sounds like this or he sounds like that. But no one could ever say, oh, he definitively sounds like this one accent. Everyone just said it was kind of like an original thing. I don't know. To me, I have no accent because I've talked like this my whole life, right? And that's the thing. When you live somewhere with a certain dialect, a certain inflection in your voice, a certain tone to your voice, a certain accent per se, you don't realize you have that accent. To me, that's just a normal way of talking. So, I don't know.
I think that Valley Girl thing, though, that's definitely out of your element. And I very likely doubt that you've dated a girl who sounds like that. And we know Cat and Panda don't sound like that. So you picked that up somewhere, for example. Like that emphasis, that high-pitched emphasis on some of his little phrases, like, I don't know, and, well, it could be, and not that I have anything against people who talk like that. It's just, I'm used to females speaking like that. And Phil is not from any region that would actually require him to do so. He's close to California, but he's not in California. Just say, I don't know, whatever.
You say I have certain accents and stereotypes, and he finds it hilarious. I don't even know what that would be. You guys would know better than me, right? You guys would definitely know, the people who are watching and listening.
Yeah, exactly, because Phil doesn't watch his own content. Unless he's checking to make sure all the ads work on his videos. Then he's kind of watching.
As you all come from different places around the world. Some of you are in different places in the United States. Some of you are in Canada. Some of you are across the pond over in the UK. Some of you are other various parts of Europe. Some people even watch me from Asia.
Oh, yeah, I remember the last time he said across the pond in Europe. That's when you threatened Be Awesome One, right? Ah, yes. The memories. The memories.
Other places. Pretty awesome. The amount of people that I get watching me around the world and the variety of cultures and things that are involved in watching my content. But I don't, I wouldn't know how you think I sound. Okay? No, oh my god, here we go again. No, I've never been called a Fredo. As I've already said yesterday, that's the most ridiculously stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. To think that Fredo is a culturally insulting, insensitive thing for Italians. That's fucking stupid. That's just stupidity.
He should really talk to the Fox commentator who came up with it. he said, when someone calls an Italian a Fredo, it's the equivalent of being called the N-word. Amazing! Amazing! I've never heard anybody say some ignorant shit like that before that moment. And no one's said it afterwards. Stupid. Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
At this point, I've now been doing this for 11 years. I'm not going to change. You know what I mean?
So, Rumpelstiltskin tipped me $2 and says that he's still banned. Let me take a look here. Hold on, Rumpelstiltskins. Let me take a look at your account. I unbanned you a bunch last night, but then you kept getting yourself banned. I mean, there's not much I can do about it when you keep getting yourself banned, man. You know, I'm trying to be nice, but you keep violating the rules. Alright, so here's the deal. If I'm gonna unban you this time, alright, it's very simple. Not only you have to abide by the rules, no spamming of caps, no accusing other people of anything. Essentially you just have to hang out and be chill. You have to relax, because that's the thing. Like, every time you're in the stream chat, it becomes drama, and it becomes like, you know, why are you doing that? Just sit here and relax, enjoy the gameplay. Don't get into arguments with mods. Don't get into arguments with other stream chatters. Don't get into arguments at all. Just sit here and relax. I don't know how many times I can kind of like reiterate this to you. Alright, Rumpelstiltskins just hit me another $3 and said, very nice, sounds good, sir. Alright. Rumpelstiltskins, I'm gonna unban you, and I hope that you really, you stick to your word this time, man. I hope so. I hope that you've learned. Alright, very nice.
Give me the money. Make money.
That wasn't even a good payoff. Like, that really was. I was expecting like 15, 20 bucks or something like that. He must give a lot of money on the regular, I guess. But that's, I don't know. I felt like that was, Phil's cheapened himself like that. Like, he really did. Like, he cheapened himself when he did that. Like, it's funny because he gets pissed off at people that tip him $1 and say, hey, why did I get banned? Can I get unbanned? But the dude sends you, what, $3, $5, and you're okay with it? And you keep saying that he keeps getting banned and he needs to chill out and relax, this, that, and the third. And you said that you had unbanned him last night, too. And so it's obvious there's a pattern. Not that I'm trying to screw up Rumpelstiltskin's little stick over there. But, like, why would you cheapen yourself like that? I thought that there would be a little bit more money involved. I don't know. I guess I gave him a little too much credit there.
That formula that makes money.
Oh, here we go. Lost Son of Phil tipped me another $1. Said, to clarify for the accents, the way you mimicked the Asian accents in Sleeping Dogs. For example, for choosing the bosses, I'm referring to, for example, the Cyclops monsters in Breath of the Wild from the tip of my head. I don't remember the Cyclops monsters in Breath of the Wild. I really don't. Cyclops monsters.
Told you.
The Cyclops monsters. I don't remember. That was over 2 years ago, so I'm like blank. I have no recollection of what you're talking about there. So I say what you're saying, not necessarily my mannerisms or my dialect, but sometimes when I will mimic a cultural accent, for example.
Yes, which is not funny. You should have stopped doing that a long time ago. I don't know why you keep pushing that narrative along.
I'm an Asian person speaking English or something. I gotcha. The thing is, I don't really do that often anymore. Every once in a while, I'll pull it out just for variety's sake or whatever.
Are you the man?
So basically, he's telling you that I have no creativity and I have no choice but to go to stereotypes because it's all I have. Despite the fact that, oh well, I didn't mean it the way it came out all those years ago. You guys took it too seriously. But he realizes that it's very disrespectful and he should stop. But if he has nothing else, he'll pull it out. That's kind of like this thing, right? So like this interesting little thing that people have been picking up, I'd say, over the last year maybe. But he's starting to put this crazy emphasis on it. The next time you see a character of color in a video game on stream, right? And especially if it's like a dialogue type situation, watch how he twists his hoof and he starts chewing on his hoof when that happens. Now, I don't know if there's anything more out of it than what you see. It certainly seems like it's a coping mechanism or a tick. It seems like it, because he has a bunch of ticks, and he has a bunch of things that he does as a coping mechanism. But with people of color, and that doesn't mean just black, you know what I'm saying, just people of color, you see him do that, you see him go to it immediately. And I think it's just weird. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it a whole lot of thought right now. I had a bunch of requests for the Fight Club channel of going over his racist compilations. So we'll see if that's something that he's developed over the years, which leads us to where he's at now, or it's something that he's always done. But the problem is he didn't always have a face cam, so it'll be hard to tell. We'll have to wait and see. And that he played it fast and loose back in the day. But it seems like some type of weird coping mechanism or tick, which is really pathetic if the first thing that comes to your mind when you see someone who doesn't look like you is to come up with a racist joke or a slur. Even though he doesn't say it, and if he has to do something to prevent himself from saying it, that means the intention is there. And that's kind of strange when you're on face cam. Like when you have a face cam, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you just get rid of the goddamn camera? You don't need it. It's not useful to you. You know what I'm saying? But yet again, he's got a goddamn ego, and he needs, all lenses on him, basically. Despite the fact that he provides nothing. It's really strange. It's really, really strange.
Muy importante. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, cabrón. Dios.
Actually, on Kiwi Farms, you guys might, if you guys dig through the threads a little bit, not too much, but things go fast over there. You're probably going to find other people that have pointed that out too. I know I've heard someone say something similar to those lines, so it's not like I'm the only one who's picked that up. There's a lot of people who see that. A lot of people who see that. So the question is, as we move forward, will he try to hide it, or will he try to break his own psychosis, or will he just go ahead and embrace it? But then again, as he just said there, I don't do it all the time, so I can be racially insensitive some of the time, but just not all the time. I can do that. I can make that means I guess Medicare can only make jokes about Jews, 35-40% of the time, and then everything else it can just kind of fly the way it does. Shit like that.
Ay, ay, ay. Mi cabeza.
But so many people in the modern era get so uppity and angry. Oh my god. You
uppity? That's interesting wording.
The accent you to make fun of a culture. How could you? I am so offended that I am writing the board of directors of Twitch immediately to get you permanently removed from the site, because I feel that you're so culturally insensitive that you will ruin our children, and the world will never be a safe place with you around it. So, every once in a while I'll bring it out, for variety, but I'm not going to just sit here and...
Have you ever realized that maybe you're just not funny? Have you ever realized that maybe your delivery is just not very good? Have you ever realized that making fun of a stereotype, it's a talent that only so many people have, right? And when you do it, and when comedians do it, when comedians do it, it's done to be funny, unless you get it. Well, there's a couple people I can name, but they're not really relevant anymore either which way. But anyway, it's supposed to be done from a comedic standpoint. It's supposed to be everybody laughing at themselves in some way, shape, or form. The problem is what you feel is you have a history of doing it from a very hateful place, and you know that, and everybody else around you knows that. And because of that, it translates in a certain type of way. He tries to play the joke off as a point of almost racial superiority instead of just making casual jokes. And for whatever reason, he can't figure that out. Or he doesn't want to figure it out. Or he thinks that it shouldn't be looked at in such a way. But then you're getting into a day and age where people just don't want to hear that. There are so many things that you can crack a joke on in the world. Why don't you do that? Well, the reason why is because Phil's not well-versed enough to do so. He can't poke at anything else. He has to go for what people would call low-hanging fruit, or for the lowest common denominator, because that's how his brain works. Go to something cheap, go to something easy. And the thing is more often than not, he knows the joke's not going to go over, or whatever you want to call it. It's not going to go over, but it can amuse him. But now he's so scared of doing it, because now he has to come up with kind of like physical cues to prevent himself from doing it. The man has no self-control. Which is weird, but also it falls into the category of what a cult leader is. One who can control others, or at least has some measure of control over others, yet have no control whatsoever over themselves. It's amazing how he fits into that archetype, to some degree. To some degree. DSP News.
Do it all the time because people basically get so upset about it. And the thing is, like, I'm the complete opposite of that. Like, for me, I'm Italian. I'm a quarter Italian. I'm a quarter Polish. I don't give a shit if anyone makes fun of Italians. Like, and people do all the time. I don't care. Fredo.
Wait. When this whole thing started to become prevalent, right? He used to say that he said, oh man, I think he said that his mom his mom was Italian, and his dad was half Italian, half Polish. Now we're a quarter of a quarter. Now we're a quarter each. So what's the other half? Why are we retconning stuff like this? Like, you have portrayed for years, I'm Italian, I'm Italian, I'm Italian, Snort, and now all of a sudden, I'm a quarter of this, I'm a quarter of that. Really? Wow.
Fredo is an Italian insult. No, it's not, you dumbass. But anyway, that's what I mean. Like, I don't care about that. You know, for me, I think it's fun. Go ahead, make a poke at my culture. I don't give a shit. Why am I so proud that I can't take a joke? But that's me, and I understand that there's people in the modern era that aren't like that. So that's why I gotta be careful about that stuff. Back in the day, I used to do it all the time. Now I barely ever do it. So.
I need a sip.
Alice Telemon cheered again. He says, everyone's a goddamn snowflake. Glad I was born in 1978. Long live the 80s. Yeah, you know, those of us who've been around for a while, I'm 37. Sounds like Alice Telemon's a little bit older than me. I think we have a lot thicker skin when it comes to the kind of stuff because we grew up in eras where basically that was comedy. Like, it was always comedy to make fun of someone's race, to make fun of someone's culture, to make fun of someone's gender. Like, that was accepted.
I have incredibly thick skin.
Now, in the modern era, things are so protected, things are so different, that, you know...
If you could do it and make it funny... Now, keep in mind, from a cultural standpoint, people have become much more sensitive. That's obvious, though. But, yet again, if you could make it funny... Phil can't make it funny. He spews it from a point of racism. He spews it with he spews it with the intent that he wants it to be insulting. He wants it to be hurtful. But if you look like him, you would automatically relate to it. So when he started getting backlash about all the racism back then and whatnot, those weren't when people were starting to give him backlash over some of his racism and so on and so forth, they didn't look like me. Or not all of them did. A lot of them looked like him. A lot of them looked like him. They were the ones who were like, yo, Phil, you need to stop that shit. That's just not funny. Yo, Phil, you need to chill with that. Not everybody can sit on the porch like Swaggins and be okay with it. If he wants to do that, let him. But not everybody who had problems with his jokes back then was a person of color. And that's what bothers him. Which is the reason why he brought up the whole modern era thing now. And yet again, it shows a lack of growth on his part. Like, you can't, there's so much shit that you can joke about. Move on. And also, since, you know, he wants to say people are being sensitive, he can take a joke, so on and so forth, then why is it not funny to say that you have gout? I mean, it's the rich man's burden, Phil. It's the rich man's curse. What's wrong with you? That's what you did. You ate yourself the gout. Like, it's funny. It's funny. And it's even more funny that instead of you going out and losing weight like a normal person and actually getting yourself active and trying to add some more years onto your life, you would rather sit there and be sedentary or whatever and just sit there and chill and just kind of starve yourself to get the weight off. To be honest with you, Phil, your condition is no better than Boogie's. If you think about it, you both are on the extremes of the spectrum. He's heavy-setted, super heavy-setted actually. And he came out recently and said some dumb shit about, oh, well, if I might go ahead and take the next 10 years to eat whatever I want, and at least I die happy because I was able to live the way I wanted to live. He didn't say shit about traveling. He didn't say shit about getting new experiences. He did not say shit about meeting new people and doing things that he's never done before. He'd rather eat himself dead over 10 years. Now let's flip over to Phil. Phil would rather, oh, well, yeah, I used to be heavy set. I used to be fat, but I'm not fat anymore. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the weight that I've lost, this, that, and the third. But you don't do anything. You're not active. So you can still have liver, kidney failure, heart failure. You can still have all those things, even if you're skinny. So what's your point, Phil? You're not doing anything. You're intaking you're still intaking shit that you don't need, that your body's not going to be able to use properly, right? You're still doing that. You're having these little partial meals or whatever so you can try to keep your weight off, I guess. It's kind of pathetic in its own right. And the only time that you get out is once a week. And you call that exercise. You call that doing something because, oh, it's that one day that you actually have to walk out of your house. And you think that's supposed to carry the other 6 days that you didn't do anything at all? So who knows what kind of medical issues that Phil has. I've said this before as well as others. You look at him. He looks terrible. He looks horrible at his age. It's because he didn't take care of himself. He's still not taking care of himself. So he would rather fit into some silly ass narrative that, oh, well, I'm not fat, so you can't make fun of me. But you would rather literally wither yourself away to a fucking zombie, while Boogie would rather eat himself dead. And both men try to defend it. But yet, neither one of them want to be made fun of because of those situations, though. But they can go ahead and joke about everything else. They can say people are being sensitive. People don't know how to take a joke anymore. People want to go ahead and make big things out of certain things. Well, both of you guys look like you're dying. And that's not even something to laugh about. That's just something that people say. And then when you guys react to it poorly, right? Then you guys want to get mad. And then people laugh at that. So no one's laughing at the fact that you guys are slowly dying. People are laughing at how you respond to it. There's a difference. Now, like I said, not everybody can make everything funny. But since you know this is what it's like in the current age, why can't you just go ahead and move with it? Especially you, Phil. You have like just a track record of not being funny when it comes to that. You have a track record of being very hateful to people who don't look at you, with a very strange and yet interesting emphasis on why, because of the backstories around you. There's a lot that goes into it. So even though you don't think there's any context to these jokes that you're saying, when people actually go back and look at your history, when they look at that DSP lore, it's like, well, wow, that kind of explains things, or that kind of fits in. And it'd be different if only like, maybe 10 people thought that. But you have legions of people who are really thinking that. Some people are willing to give you a pass and just don't want to really address it. And that's fine. But for everybody else, or for most people, I should say, it looks, it all kind of flows together. All the dots are lining up. And you're still not smart enough to realize, maybe I just shouldn't do this anymore. It's just not funny. It's low-hanging fruit. Maybe I should just stop. But you don't want to, though. So then you're okay with being called a racist then. You're okay with thinking that way. Because it's obvious that's how you think. And it'd be easier if you just admitted it. You know what I'm saying? You're already labeled it. You're already labeled as that anyway. Just admit it and move on. But no one wants to ever do that. No one wants to ever admit to being that, despite the fact that everybody basically wants to be that. It's really weird. It's really strange. And then they could just stop, but no one wants to do that either. But all right, well, whatever. It's a free country, at least for the time being. So do what you got to do.
People in general live sheltered lives at home. Their only interaction is over the internet.
And so, God forbid, someone on the internet say something that could be found offensive. Now you get 40,000 tweets about it, which I've personally seen to myself. I say something on Twitter that I think is just an off-the-cuff joke and should not be offensive, and so many fucking idiots react to it, and then they try to virally spread the tweet to make more people react in, like, shock. I'm like, wow, you guys are really stupid.
Putting that out on Twitter is going to cause trouble. I know that logically in this head. I know that's stupid, but I did it anyway. And it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake that I put that on fucking Twitter. No, sir, it wasn't. That was my depression.
So, yet again, Snort Burnell has the greatest timing ever. So, yet again, people are all sensitive ninnies. It's supposed to be a joke. No big deal. Oh, I knew that when I put that out there, people were going to react to it. I knew I was going to get a buzz because people were going to slap at me, or that people were going to snap at me. But I didn't do it because it was a mistake, though, or because I just wanted to express my opinion. It was my depression. And yet again, the whole situation with him having depression, is it possible? Sure. He probably has a bunch of different issues. He said he's been on a cocktail of medication for years. So I guess that wouldn't be too far off the mark. The problem is that at the time when he said it's my depression, was right around the time when that whole better health nonsense was going around. So it kind of fit into his situation because mental health at that time, which even now is still pervasive, and it's still something that we need to address, I think, as a community. But we'll save that for another time. That was like a hot buzzword at the time, especially on Twitter. So he used that as his shield. He used that as his curtains, as his window dressing. That, oh, I've done a lot of stupid shit, but that was my depression, guys. That's what it was. I didn't really mean it. It wasn't really meant to be a joke or anything. It's just I couldn't control myself. That little voice in my head was what told me to do it, so I did it. Okay. Interesting narrative, but alright.
If you're offended by a random comment on Twitter, right, that isn't even like a direct attack on someone, it's just a generalized statement, what that tells me is that you just don't have too much going on in your life. Like, seriously, if a generalized joke on Twitter is so offensive to you that now you have to mobilize an attack force on the internet to fucking go after someone for something that was such an off-the-cuff remark or something, you have too much free time. Why aren't you out working? Why aren't you making money to pay the bills?
Why aren't you working? Ha ha ha. Yeah, Pro Jared is actually a pretty good example. We'll cut to that in a second.
Why aren't you raising children? Why aren't you doing things that are meaningful in life that all you do is sit on the fucking internet and whine and complain about a random comment from someone on social media? Like, what the fuck?
Wait, but didn't you do that with Pro Jared? And didn't you do that with Alpha Omega Sin? But he did that in the video. Either which way. Didn't you do that with Felix? Didn't you do that with PewDiePie? Didn't you do that with a bunch of people? But then on top of that, walk with me on this. Then he said, why don't you go ahead and do productive and meaningful things in life? Like, I don't know, get a job, have some kids and start a family, you know, go outside. All things that he don't do. Because apparently, right, I don't need to get a job because the job that I have has made me more money than any job that I have ever had, nor will I ever be able to get. So I have to keep doing this, guys. I have to keep doing this for the next 10, 15 years until mommy dies, or, well, definitely when mommy and daddy die, but then also when I can refinance my home, and then I can go ahead and get a job, which makes no sense because he would be all out of his financial straits by then, depending on, excuse me, what shoe falls first, whether he can refinance his home or mommy and daddy pass. So that don't make a whole lot of sense in itself with getting a job. Second thing is having a family, I mean a real family, Phil, like actually having kids and shit. If you want to go that route, I wouldn't say a real family, but you know what I mean. Starting a family, but he don't want to do that though because he's too old. He's past his prime. You know what I'm saying? All the little Philly piggies are all dried up, and apparently, Catherine has no interest in kids either, which is really, really peculiar because when that conversation came up in that IRL stream that they did together, she slumped back in that chair and she looked mighty disappointed. Kind of like, I don't know, like some women who have that biological clock and who really are looking forward to being mothers. Not necessarily because of the biological clock, I'm saying, but there are plenty of women who want to be mothers. And it's almost like when she slumped back into that chair and crossed her arms, she looked mighty disappointed about that bullshit. Which is funny because I thought you guys were a united front when you guys stepped onto that stream and you guys had already talked about this plenty of times. It sounded to me like subconsciously her real feelings came out and she thought that was some bullshit. Extremely interesting. Now, let's go to the third point about us going outside, actually, going out there and seeing the world for what it is and maybe interacting with some people. One of the things that he don't do either, or he does it once a week, and I don't know if interacting with your cashier, Susan, actually counts as actually having interactions with other people. I don't know. Or your hairdresser that you only see like once or twice every couple of months. I don't know. I don't know if that's really the expansion of the world. I'm not sure if you can actually live vicariously through someone who actually works every day and who actually communicates with people every day and this, that, and the third by having one exchange with them that's probably less than an hour. With your cashier, it's certainly even shorter than that. I don't know. That just doesn't seem very practical to me. That doesn't seem very reasonable. So it's funny how he would sit here and name all these things that he doesn't do for a group of people who are out, who actually do all of those things and have an understanding of how our society actually works, not, brave enough to walk out of their own personal bubbles and actually interact with people and actually learn from people and actually hear people's stories and get people's outlook on life. It's funny how people actually do that every day. And those are the same people who have their opinions on the dumb shit he says, which is on his depression, by the way. His depression caused all that. Just want to keep that in mind. It's funny how people can have comments on the stuff that he says or other people and feel a certain type of way about it. It doesn't have to be general outrage. It's like, hey, Phil, that was a dumb thing to say. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Oh, well, fuck you, man. I can do what I want. It's really, really crazy how that is. Especially when he says that people are so sensitive or defensive. But that's all Phil is. He's sensitive. He's insecure. He's defensive. Interesting concept, right? DSP News?
DSP, you gotta get a job.
DSP, get a damn job.
Hey, DSP, Tyrone says you need to get a job, dude.
Everybody should work.
Hey, DSP, yo, get a job, dude.
DSP, keep coasting, bud. It'll be all right. Keep coasting, brother.
DSP, get a job.
Oh my god, here we go, moron. I have a job, it's much better than yours. Stupid. The hilarious part about morons who say stuff in the stream chat like, or you can get a job, which is what that guy just said and just got permanently banned. This job pays more than any job I've ever had in my entire life, including when I had a full-time office job for 5 years. I still make more doing this job than that. That's
But see, yet again, another point that I feel that I should make. Just because you make a lot of money in a job doesn't mean that the job's fulfilling. You see what I'm saying? Like you guys ever feel that way? Like, so which tells you a lot about who Phil Burnell is as a person, and possibly a lot of his upbringing, is the fact that it's not about the amount of money that it gives you, or that you make, I should say. Because unless you're doing something productive with it, which Phil isn't, then what's the point? It's the fulfillment that you get from your job. When you pick up, you leave your house, you are actually building something, or you're contributing to something, or you're doing something that you feel that's meaningful in some way, where you feel proud of what you've done, and when you go home, you know you've done you've had a hard day, or you've had a very stressful day, or whatever the case may be. But you know you've done something, whether it helps benefit society as a whole, the future of society moving forward, maybe just something in the short term, maybe just yourself. Maybe it's just something that provides some fulfillment to yourself. It's meaningful. But if you're just in the pursuit of money, right, and e-clout, which is basically all he really does, there's nothing there because both of them are fleeting. Money comes and goes extremely easy. That's why he says he's allegedly broke. E-clout or e-fame or any of that shit is just as fleeting. You're a shit person. You always have been. You always will be. You started off being a negative piece of shit. You always will be. You started off kind of making a name for being a confrontational type individual who likes drama and who's willing to stand by his points. You always will be. So when you do shit like DSP positive, or say I don't want any drama, or I don't want this, that, and the third, it makes no sense at all, because that right there is a direct contradiction to how you conduct yourself. And it's funny how some of these kids haven't picked up on that sooner.
complete ignorant children who say stupid shit like that. They don't seem to understand.
If you have a life, if you're busy, you don't have time to fucking worry about this stupid shit. But these people don't have lives. They just sit there with nothing to fucking do, and they crap on every possible thing on the internet.
Goddamn, isn't he angry? Or sensitive? Or offended? Something you would expect from a shut-in. Let us continue.
It's offensive, and to me that's just ludicrous, you know?
He almost got me toxic. He almost got me toxic.
I'm sorry, that's my belief, so you can completely disagree. Go right ahead, and that's okay, but for me, to get offended about every little thing on the internet is so dumb. And I agree with Alice Telemon. You know, we grew up in a completely different era, all right, where, again, it was common for this stuff to be talked about. It was common to joke about this kind of stuff. And now it's like, if you even bring it up, oh my God, you're so insensitive and you're so this and that. It's like, but wait a minute, you know, just 10, 15 years ago, when I started on YouTube 10 years ago, it was commonplace to have jokes like this and do stuff like that. And now people pull that shit up as evidence that you're racially insensitive and shit. It's like, wait a minute, what? No, it was a different time when not everyone was offended by every little thing because they had so much fucking free time on the internet that they could nitpick every comment you ever made as if it was something factual. You know, like a joke that I made.
All this coming from someone who lives on the internet and makes his living off the internet. Keep that in mind.
10 years ago constitutes an actual truthful belief that I have about a race or a culture, rather than just taking it as a fucking joke, right? But that's how these people are.
But that's what a joke is, though. Isn't the joke 50% of the truth? Or some people also say, isn't the joke what people actually feel that they're not brave enough to actually say? Or say directly? No, I don't necessarily believe the second part. The second one. But I do believe a joke is 50% of the truth, and then the other part is what you try to spin to make it funny. Seems fair. That's a personal opinion, though.
Too much time on your hands, you nitpick everything, you microanalyze everything, and you try to make yourself feel better by finding mistakes and shortcomings of other people who've been around and had a public persona for quite some time.
A public persona that was degrading before I got here. It'll be degrading when I leave. Just as it was for the detractors who came before me. You make it sound like the detractors sat there and were the ones who brought you down. You were already crumbling. You were already falling apart. And it's funny how early detractors actually tried to help him. They tried to build his ass back up. And they tried to, and some of them anyway, tried to make him stronger than what he was before. Which, to be honest, they left the groundwork for the generations that came later. Because you got to build a man up before you destroy him. And you weren't even smart enough to understand that back then. They were really trying to help you. They were really trying to help you. Certain detractors now still try to help you. Even I try to help you and I don't even really notice it anymore. And I have no benefit either which way, whether you fail or whether you succeed. Because you're always going to do something fucked up. You're always going to do something stupid. You're always going to say something stupid. There's always going to be someone that's going to be like, GTG, this video, I need this, please. The request will always be there, as it is for every other detractor. But the change starts with you. I don't have to change and believe that you can be better. I saw better men than me do that before me, and it didn't work out. I saw better men than me who really wanted to see you do well, and you pissed that right back in their goddamn faces. I saw people who legitimately wanted to see you do well. And you threw that right back in their goddamn face like they were disrespecting you. Nah. You're supposed to learn from the people who come before you. You're supposed to learn from the people who come before you. And don't get me wrong, I've made plenty of mistakes. I will continue to do so. But I hope those who follow my class, or my generation, if you will, won't make those same mistakes. Now, granted, human nature dictates that you want to see people do well. But not you. You're not. It's not that I don't want you. It's not even that I don't want you to do well. Because I don't hate you. But I know that you won't. I know that you can't. Because that will require effort. And it's easier to just blame everybody else. As you've done your whole life. As you've done throughout your FGC career. As you've done through your YouTube career. As you've done through your Twitch career. And that can be proven. All of that I just said can be proven. I don't have to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't have to bring myself down to a common denominator to try to relate with you. I see through you. And that's what bothers me the most of it, really. That I shouldn't be able to. No one should. No one should be able to see through your actions before you do so. Your next move is supposed to be your best move. And no one should be able to predict that. And yet, you have a whole community that does. And I'm talking about people in this community that I don't even talk to. Not that I have an issue with not talking to them. It's just I don't get a chance to talk to them. And it's funny how I have no idea what they're thinking, and I'm sure they don't have any idea what I'm thinking, and yet we can all come to the same conclusion as a collective. You know how many times I've talked to Agent Proper and Declan Reed about something that they were already talking about themselves before I jumped into the conversation? No one should be able to predict an individual like that. But see, that's what makes you a lolcow, though. You've already put yourself into a box. It wasn't about microanalyzation. It's even flow. It's ebb and flow, if you will. Over time, you show a pattern of doing this. You're not going to break it. And even when you do, someone else is willing to think outside the box and have an idea of a theory on how and what you're going to do next. And that's how it works. That's what makes the trifecta, if you will, of YouTube, Twitter, and Kiwi Farms, or any website that follows lolcows. That's what makes all this work, Phil. I'm sorry, I'm about to go on a tangent. I hope you guys don't mind. You think that you're facing a single element, right? And because you're very simple-minded, right, Phil? You think that simple element is reduced to just one group of people on one platform, when you don't realize that this is a collective. Even though I do not have an account on Kiwi Farms, I know that there are people who think what I think, or at least similar. And I'm also on Kiwi Farms. I read Kiwi Farms despite the fact that I don't have an account. Same thing with Twitter. I don't use Twitter. I'm not on, well, I use Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter every day like that. But at the same time, I read Twitter, so I know there's a lot of people over there who feel my sentiment, and vice versa, even if I don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? And then with YouTube, I try to talk to as many people as I can on YouTube. And yet again, there's still a bunch of different people who think a bunch of different ways, but yet we still come to the same conclusion. How I come to my conclusion about you is different from a lot of people. But it's not, but that's my journey to get there. What should be troubling to you, because it's troubling to me, is that there's a bunch of different people on multiple platforms who either talk to each other on the regular or talk to each other on a semi-regular basis. Or maybe some of them don't really talk at all. They kind of just go up there when they hear something silly and give their opinion, and then they're off to do their own thing. And yet all of them, almost as a collective, can come to a decision on what you're going to do, and then it happens. That worries me. That worries me that you are so regimented as an individual, right? Knowing that you have all these people in air quotes that microanalyze everything you do and trying to figure out a way to break into your house and all this nonsense, right? And trying to rip your life up from the ground up. It's funny how you have this alleged group of people that are out here to watch you burn, and yet you won't do anything to try to change it. You think they should change instead of you. It's crazy how you are so regimented as an individual that people can predict your movements before you do it, and then you get mad. And now you have to skew certain things, right? You have to skew aspects of the truth so you feel like they don't get over on you. Like, hey, Phil, I bet you anything Phil has a cat. Yeah, Phil probably won't like he has a cat. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, they said I have a cat, but they said it was a new cat, though. Jasper isn't new. We've had him for a very long time. Huh? You have a cat. At the base of that equation, you have a cat. You skewing it and saying, oh, I've had it for 8 months, so it's not a brand new cat, so all you guys are wrong. It's pathetic. Just like how that whole declawing situation seems more and more pathetic. And it's not sounding very right. And you're having an even harder time going ahead and convincing anybody that cat isn't pregnant. It's things like this that work against you. So if I hated you so much, right? If I hated you so much, why the fuck do I try to give you advice about anything? I always told myself that I wasn't going to do it, but it's hard not to. It's hard not to, because when you see people do wrong, all right, you don't want to keep seeing it. I can say that for people in my comment section. There's a lot of things that I'm off on, and people try to correct it, and I appreciate that. And that's just something that human nature kind of dictates. It's funny how we're all supposed to be haters, right? And we're all looking at the downfall of all these people, but yet when you go to Amber Lynn's comment section, there are people in there that are readily trying to give her advice. You really should actually check out her Kiwi Farms, because there's some amazing shit that goes on there. To be honest, I really like some of the stuff that I read in there. That can be said for any locale. There are people who actively try to support Low Tier God. Low Tier God has banned them on all platforms, but they still want to see him do well. And they go through other people to try to give him advice. Same thing with Wings. Same thing with with the Boulder King himself. Monday, I flag everything that mentions my name, Matt. Same thing with Rich. Same thing with a lot of people. Boogie. It's funny how all these people are supposedly out to get you guys, when in actuality, and which inevitably will be the ending of all of you guys, is you'll do it to yourselves. The very people who tried to help you, you ignored them. You wrote them off as haters or detractors or whatever the case may be, and those were the ones who were striving to the best of their abilities to save you. And none of you were smart enough to see it. That's what bothers me. But I can't stop that. Nor do I think I should. I don't have to change how I think. You do. If for example, reactionary content is just garbage and it's bullshit and it's low effort and so on and so forth, then I don't have to change anything I do if I'm reacting to you. You have to change. And by proxy, my opinion of you would change over time if you showed real growth. You can't do that. The same way Amber Lynn can't do that. You're used to having things a certain type of way. You need negativity. You need hate. You need animosity. You guys say you don't want it, but you need it. For a couple of reasons. One, it's profitable. Two, I think both of you guys get off on it. You need it. And that is true negativity, ladies and gentlemen. That is truly a problem. That is truly an issue. But I can't do anything about that. No one can. Oneself must deal with that. That's not an outside influence type thing. That's not an outside influence that can handle that. That goes back to the theory that if everybody stopped doing Detractor content, Phil would just get better. Nah. He would just breed more detractors. It's what he does. Phil has always been negative. He's always been about drama, and he needs to be opinionative, and he needs to have an opinion because he's always been opinionative about everything he's ever done. If you take that supposed negativity away from him, you take the criticism away from him, you take all this stuff away from him, he dies. Because he's boring. He's boring. He needs blowback. He needs it. And if he doesn't have it, he'll wither away. Because he doesn't get any attention from anybody else. When he takes how many shots? Let me finish this up because goddamn, this has gone long. How many times has he taken shots at PewDiePie before PewDiePie did a reaction to his to the flapping? A lot. He'd been ragging on PewDiePie for years until that happened. And then when PewDiePie finally did it, Phil was at his neck. Oh, who the hell is he? Oh, this, that, and the third. Oh, he does fluff content. Oh, he's just a fucking sissy ninny. I'm surprised he just didn't call PewDiePie gay. He was like, he's all these things. Oh, his book? Oh, his book is garbage. This, that, and the third. This, that, and the third. And then PewDiePie makes a response saying, well, maybe because you can't read. Oh, who the hell does he think he is? This, that, and the he needs that. He needs that. Fuck depression. He needs that. That's what he needs. That's what it is. It's not depression. It's animosity, it's anger, it's insecurity. Those are the driving forces. That's the trifecta that makes Phil Burnell. He can hide behind depression all he wants because he's a liar. He goes with what's trending. But that's what the driving force behind the piggy is. And he can't give that up. He says that he doesn't need Tevin. The fuck he don't. He needs Tevin now more than anything. And I guarantee you, Phil, you're coming to the realization that you getting Tevin and those other two fellas kicked off of Twitch was not a smart move for you. That was not a smart move. You were better off letting those guys be. But you didn't want to, though, because your ego got to you. Your ego got to you that you didn't want to see those guys start to eclipse you in sub counts, in views, in recognition. You couldn't have that because they're beneath you. Right, Phil? They're only known because of you, right? So to see them evolve and to pass you up, that can't stand. That can't happen. So you had to get rid of them. And you had to get rid of them on the most pettiest shit. And now they're still prospering at whatever they're doing, whether on the platform of choice or at life. And see, that bothers you even more. Think about that the next time you want to talk about sensitivity. You want to talk about just jokes. I want you to think about that the next time that you decide to step up out your face and tell people to do something meaningful with their lives. I want you to think about that the next time that you roll up out of bed and you look at your mirror and you realize that you're 37 and you look like you're in your 50s and that your body aches every day that you get up out of bed. And that you're complaining to Kat and she's kind of just rolling her eyes at you. And she's spending more and more, and when you do see her, she's spending more and more time on her texting somebody who you don't know, more than likely. And how eventually she's going to spend more and more time getting up out of the house, especially in the fall and in the winter, because that seems like that's something that she seems to do. I want you to think about that when you're at home for like 14, 15 hours out the day alone with Jasper. And Jasper is so annoyed with you that he would rather spend his time in Catherine's room waiting for her. I want you to think back to that moment back in 2017 when you said that you were all alone and you were depressed. This, that, and the third, when in actuality you were talking to somebody on the side. I want you to think back to when Panda finally got the courage to leave you. I want you to remember that moment. Because that's going to come back to you. And it's going to come back to you in a way that you're not ready for.
That's life. Now Rumpelstiltskin says you got banned again. Dude, Rumpelstiltskin, what did you do, dude? Seriously, at this point now, I'm getting angry. I just fucking unbanned you. What the hell did you do? Now it won't even give me your chat logs. It says an unexpected error occurred. It won't even give me your chat logs. Let me try again. Oh my god. Dude, I'm just looking at what you said. What? I give up. Dude, I seriously, I can't unban you again. You have not learned a single thing. You have not learned a single thing. You said, I'm going to be very, very properly behaved. Then you started spamming in caps. Then you started saying racially offensive terms. Then you started, oh my god.
It's funny because it sounds like Rumpelstiltskin is actually a mere reflection of himself, of Phil. He always says that he wants to do better. He's going to do better for the business. You know what I'm saying? He's going to try to, project positivity moving forward and so on and so forth to better the business and better himself and better the community. And it all comes back down to the same toxic bullshit. Imagine that.
Dude, what the fuck? I give up. I give up. I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, Rumpelstiltskins. I can't help you anymore. If you can't help yourself, I can't help you.
It's obvious you have no self-control. You have zero self-control.
I'm done with it. I'm not unbanning you this time. That's it. You immediately said I'm gonna behave and then immediately went back to your old ways, so there's nothing I can do about it, dude. Sorry.
Unleash the beast. Toxic. Oh. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay.
You're damn right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. That was a bit of a tantrum. Been on a bit of a heavy rant there a little bit. But forgive me for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more video of the broadcast. And then, hopefully, you guys hopefully can go off and enjoy your day. I will see you guys yet again in just a second.
Contributions are...
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Explant. Seriously, can we talk?
Whatever that is. All right, sorry about that tangent earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the last video of our broadcast. Snort Burnell, DSP. One more night of chill streams. Or one more night of chill streams, sorry. Here we go.
Talk about the elephant in the room, a lot of troll and estranged mods recently. There's really nothing to talk about. There's basically been a few mods that basically weren't doing much, and come to find out, it's because they were just sitting around basically trying to like get stuff out of the mod chat room that we would talk about moderation and stuff. They weren't actually like trying to help with moderation. One of them was a mod who I brought on last year, I believe it was, when we had lost a couple mods and we were just looking for mods right away. I think it was for the hardcore gaming season, and I needed someone right away, so I took on a couple people who I didn't really know who they were, but they were more recent viewers to the streams. And, you know, I mean, not to say that he was a bad guy, just it wasn't like, I don't know, like he did moderate, but at the same time, every once in a while he would like take a stab at me and stuff, you know, like a tongue-in-cheek joke. So I thought, oh, that's okay, because it's alright to joke around or whatever once in a while, but then come to find out this guy actually was always skeptical and always critical of me, and outside of the streams was basically a dick around, you know, about stuff that I said and did, and apparently believed that, oh, the whole thing with the Jasper reveal was a scam and shit. Basically, he's being a fucking asshole.
It's very salty.
So, and like I said, I think this is about this particular situation is about that's the bottom line, and I think the guy's name is Yusuke, is the second guy. So the pignosis basically was broken. The pig psychosis was broken. Now, as we talked about earlier about being sensitive and joking around and so on and so forth, the guy took a bunch of jokes at him. He thought it was all right, but it was starting to irk him, which is funny because he's supposed to have thick skin. He's supposed to let this stuff roll out. Then he hears that behind the scenes, outside of his streams, he's talking and saying that he has his doubts. Yet again, keeping tabs on the very people, on his mods, as well as probably casual viewers, keeping tabs on what they're doing and what they're saying, even if they're not on his platform directly. And yet, no one finds an issue with any of this. Over there, anyway. No one sees a problem with this at all. Already. Galtopia Gestapo, then.
But it also has this, like, sour flavor to it. It does.
Yeah, I know I wasn't gonna get that guy. So, after finally finding all this out, the reason I found out is because he unbanned someone during a stream who'd been banned for, like, months. Who I personally have said could never be unbanned. And he just unbanned it during a live stream. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He made up like 20 lies about it to try to cover it up. And then come to find out the guy was basically a dickhead. And behind the scenes he was saying all kinds of nasty stuff about me and stuff. So I got rid of him.
I've got this aftertaste in my mouth.
Yet again, this is the internet. You shouldn't be sensitive. He's worried about what somebody has to say about him on the internet. With all the rest of but the internet's supposed to be full of a bunch of sensitive ninnies who need to get out and start families and do stuff meaningful with their lives and get jobs. But he wants to ban people. He not even wants to. He bans people because they have opinions that are different from his, or they feel like some of the stuff he says are a bit suspect. They need to be eradicated. They need to be eradicated. So who's really the sensitive ninny in this whole situation, right? Who's the one who really needs to get up out their house and actually do something meaningful with their life? Oh boy.
Oh, it's not going away. It's a lingering saltiness in my mouth that is just not very pleasant.
So then, basically there's been a few other things going on. Some guy just got banned recently for basically being an asshole in the stream chat or something. I don't even know, because I don't even know if I was the one who banned him. I don't even know the whole situation. But I guess a mod was trying to protect him or whatever, and then come to find out this mod was, like, friends with this Detractor, had been on his podcast before. And then, in reality, this mod wasn't really modding anymore. This was a guy who had modded over 2 years ago. If I remember correctly, it was during when I was playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Switch, like, 2 years ago. And he was around to, like, moderate around then, but he hadn't actually, like, been modding actively for over a year. And he would come back every once in a while, and come to find out he was probably, again, just sitting around in the mod chat just to get inside info that we would talk about bans and unbans and stuff behind the scenes. It sucks that this happens, but, when you have volunteer mods, that's what happens, you know what I mean? Like, I have some mods that have been around for a long time, and I trust them inherently because they've been around for so long. They've helped me out in many different ways, whether it was not only moderating, but co-op gameplay, providing emotes and stuff. And those guys I know, those are my go-to guys if we need something serious to talk about, or some serious help with stuff. Those are the guys you can rely on. But there's some people who are just mods that come in every once in a while to help out, and then they disappear, and it's like, where did they go? And the next thing you know, they didn't want to mod. They were just trying to get behind the scenes info and stuff. Stupid shit. I don't really care about it because it doesn't really affect anything. So that one mod that we demodded the other day, have the streams been negatively affected at all? No. Today we demodded a guy who was never here anyway. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect anything in any big way. I just don't give a crap.
Jasper was the club.
Okay, wait a second. So why did Brightside Viking have to fall on his own battle axe then? And why did he get backstabbed on top of that? Basically got the Blood Eagle treatment and then got cast off. When he frontlined for you. He gave you large amounts of money. He was a confidant behind the scenes, as well as on stream. He regulated just about everybody. He kept the forum, at least, I don't know if I say he kept it clean, but I guess he kept it at least regulated to some degree. He's one of the members anyway who did it. Like, Brightside Viking did a lot of shit for you, dude, and you cast him aside the moment you thought you were in trouble. Over the whole situation with Kiwi Farms, the whole blood for the blood god. But that's funny because if I remember that correctly, that was a non-issue. None of that stuff ever happened. Your forums were never compromised, and they were perfectly safe. and you didn't get anybody's information except for their email address, only to come out later that that's how you end up getting their IPs too, which allegedly is probably how KG was allegedly able to run around and do what he was doing, but that's all alleged though. I don't have any proof of any of that. Yeah. Like, why did Brightside end up having to get the weak end of the pixie stick, if you will? I don't know. For some reason, that never. Not that I know Brightside Viking or I've even spoken to him, but I've always felt that he was loyal to a fault. I'll give him that. He was loyal to a fault, and I felt like he didn't deserve that, or he didn't deserve that he ended up going out. He didn't deserve that at all. Not all the years and all the time he put in frontline for this asshole. He deserved better. If anything else, he deserved the Warrior's death. He didn't deserve what he got. He didn't deserve what he got. And whatever you guys think of Brightside Viking, I can understand. Don't get me wrong. And whatnot. I have my negative connotations about him too. But he deserved better on his way out. He just deserved better. It didn't sit right with me how that all ended for him. It really didn't. Especially when Phil had to have known what he was doing over there on Kiwi Farms. He had to have known. So for you to sit there and say you knew nothing and you didn't tell anybody to do anything, that don't sit right with me. No one says you can't be sympathetic to your enemies. DSP News.
Where you got and why do people do something like that? I mean, my guess is like there's someone who's such an asshole that they're so worried about their furniture around their house and shit. That they're like, this cat will tear up the furniture, so, take the claws off the cat, which is fucked up. You're basically removing a part of the cat's finger. The thing is, Jasper has his back claws, and I tell you right now, our furniture has claw marks on it. We have a dresser in the bedroom that he loves to jump on top of, and when he does, he nicks it up with his back claws. Why do I care?
This is my furniture, this is my house to live in. I'm not planning on reselling the fucking house at pristine value in the future. Things are made to be lived in and used and fall apart. You know what I mean? I don't know who these people are. They want everything so fucking pristine. They've got like this crazy ADD or some shit. Not ADD,
So wait, so you're supposed to, okay, so you guys rescued Jasper. His words, not mine. They rescued Jasper because he's been, this whole Jasper thing just don't even sound right. But just flow with me with this. Walk with me on this. So we rescued Jasper from the shelter after like 5 months or whatever long period of time it was, because he was declawed in the front, and he thought it was unfair that Jasper would be stuck there because he has no claws or no front claws. Okay, fair enough. Now he's saying that, he still has his back claws and things are all getting scratched up or clawed up all the time. It's no big deal. It wouldn't have made a big deal either which way. Okay, fair enough. But we see how often Jasper needs that stuff. And that's just in his office. Who knows what else he does around the house. So if he had claws, a lot of shit's going to get carved up. Like big time. Until they can kind of, teach him not to do so. Or not to do it so often. You're telling me that someone like Phil, who already lives in a fucking dump. I'm sorry, Catherine. I know you do what you can, but a pig's a pig no matter what. Just because you hose him off every once in a while doesn't change what he is. You're telling me that this idiot right here who has a cat that he can't regulate really, if he ended up getting, into that nook and started clawing away at some of those boxes for some of those figure statues that he wants to sell, he wouldn't be pissed off about that? You're not telling me that if he didn't somehow make his way into, one of the storage closets downstairs that may have some of Phil's junk in there that he hasn't seen in 3 or 4 years, and he starts toying around with that or messing around with some wires, he's not gonna get pissed off at that? You're telling me if, as Jasper has probably already done, if he went in there and actually had his claws and could really go to work at some of the wires and maybe even some of the consoles that are just sitting around, or his controllers that are sitting around on the floor, you're telling me Phil isn't gonna be mad at that stuff? Really? And he's talking about selling a house in pristine order. Well, Phil, when you walked into that house, it wasn't a complete and total dump. It's going to have to be presentable, and the buyer is going to want certain caveats. They're going to want certain conditions to be met for them to purchase it. So you're going to have to do that. Unless what you're trying to tell us here is that you're going to die in that house and you're never going to sell it and you're never going to move. Which means all that propaganda that you had spewed for the last year about you don't want to lose your house, you don't want to lose this life, this, that, and the third, but if things go to the worst, you're going to have to, was all bullshit from the beginning. You never had any intention of doing so. I.e., my financial situation is not nearly as bad as I'm telling you guys. I'm just a greedy piece of shit. Something to think about.
OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. That like, oh God forbid that like there's a single thread out of place on my fucking couch or on my carpet.
If I see a mess or if I see dirt on the floor, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get clean. I don't want to just leave that and get to it when I get to it. I'm like, damn, I just got to drop everything and clean that shit.
Is this the same guy who at the end of his pre-streams he'll say, guys, I don't know why my hands are all sticky. My hands are just super sticky. I don't understand why they're so sticky. Ew. I don't know. I've been sitting here for a while and they're just really sticky. I'll be back, guys. I gotta wash my hands. That's coming from this individual, yeah? If I feel even the slightest bit of discomfort on my hands, right, I want to wash them. But Phil will sit there during an entire pre-stream, right, begging for money, tilting back and forth, and who knows what else he's doing, and let his hands be sticky that whole entire time. Let me give you guys a little bit of a few of the cover stories. It might have been my controller because it's been sitting on the floor a long time, or it may have been the tea that I was drinking. I made some hot tea for my throat, and maybe it's the honey or something, or some of the tea spilt on me, and that's what's all sticky, amongst others. But everything has to be clean, though, right? If I see some dirt on the floor, I gotta clean that shit right away, right? Which is in direct contradiction to if something happens with the house, it's no big deal. It doesn't have to always be pristine. Alrighty.
Then why get a pet? Then don't get a fucking pet. Live in a pristine padded room for the rest of your fucking life, Like, I wouldn't punish the cat. Oh, the cat has claws, so take the claws off so it doesn't claw my furniture. That's terrible. That's such a terrible thing.
Let's see here. Johnny Skidmark Cheers said, do you think the trolls overanalyze your videos and that's why you don't vlog around your house anymore? You're right, people. What people would do is literally create defamatory videos and or slander about me based on stuff in the video. They would take something that's like out of reference in a video and make it like, okay, here's a perfect example. So one of my videos from years ago, I had a coffee maker, alright, sitting in my kitchen here, and these idiots actually made a video, I'm not kidding you. Do you see the coffee maker that Phil has? Do you realize how expensive that coffee maker is? So he says that that he's not doing well, he needs money with contributions during streams, but if that were the case, there's no way he would have that coffee maker. And it's like, what? Like, it's so insane what they're saying. Because, like the coffee maker that I have, first of all, how do you know when I even bought that fucking coffee maker? I could have had that coffee maker forever. In that case, that actually was the case. That's a coffee maker that I owned for like 5-6 years. So
that's 100% a lie.
It is a lie, too. I think actually, I know, pretty confident that LSB had already dispelled that. First things first, you go back and I think it's either a memology video or it's either a memology 101 walkthrough or it's a Mighty D console walkthrough where you see it. There's two different types of coffee makers. And the one that Phil has that's in question, right? That's the one that he sat there and tried to make he tried to make ramen noodles with, tried to eat it with a spoon like an idiot. Because he's an idiot. What the fuck you need a spoon for to eat ramen, bruh? You're supposed to eat the noodles, and if Phil's ever had real ramen, I'm sure he has, to eat all the meat and vegetables, you go ahead and you either have chopsticks or you have a fork, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you know how to use chopsticks, Phil, but if just in case you don't. But then you slurp up the actual broth. You know what I'm saying? But you don't use both for cup ramen. You use a fork to eat the ramen, and then you drink the broth at the end. Silly motherfucker. Anyway, it's too much salt in that damn thing anyway, because I think he did that when he was sick, or whatever. And he turned it to a DSP tries it, so he was double dipping on that either which way. Anyway. And then I think he had a coffee maker back at his old condo in Connecticut. Now, we know that the new coffee maker that's downstairs, he bought that when him and Panda moved from Connecticut to Washington. We know this, because he talked about it, and all the stuff that they bought with it, because he bought he bought a lot of the little cups of coffee and tea. He buys that stuff in bulk. Actually, in a DSP Tries It for Amazon Pantry. I've talked about this before. They actually had like 4 or 5 of those in there because they got it in bulk and it was cheap. So there you go on that. So he is lying about that. There's 2 separate coffee makers, but it's not just that. It's when you see the moving video, which that was in one of Tevin's Back in Times. You see all the stuff that they left over there and they surrendered compared to everything else that when he was moving. He had the mindset, and he actually kind of talked about it, that some of the stuff he's not going to carry with him. They're just going to buy all new stuff when they get there. Now, I'm saying that to say this. I want you to think about the scenario. This man right here was in a decline when he left Connecticut. Views were in a decline. Money was in a decline. He basically had to get on all of his hooves and beg Machinima not to renegotiate his contract that year. So because he basically was like, hey, I'm moving across country. When I get to my house, I'm going to be able to do all these new things and everything. It's going to be really cool, and so on and so forth, and my views will get back up, but please do not cut my money right now. And Machinima gave him mercy. Why wouldn't they, I guess? So that was the marketing scheme for Machinima. When he ended up getting over there, despite the fact that we're on a declining revenue stream, views are down, all of that stuff is down, he has all these credit cards that he sat there and put everything on. He bought all of his furniture, all on credit. Bought all of the electronics that they had on credit. Bought a bunch of stuff for the kitchen on credit. Bought all that artwork in there that's in his living room and is in the dining room and all that, all on credit. All the stuff that they needed for the actual house itself, chemicals, cleaning supplies, you know what I'm saying, food, all that stuff was done on credit. All of that. So you're telling me that this idiot right here bought 2 coffee makers, despite the fact that the model that he has downstairs would be relatively new to the time period that we were introduced to it and the time that he was moving. You're telling me that he had bought 2 different coffee makers, kept one in the box, and left it in his condo for years. Then decided to move that. Then when he leaves Connecticut, he decides to leave that old coffee maker there, which I think his parents might have taken it. He takes the new one with him and starts fresh with that. Despite the fact that, yet again, the make and model that he had is kind of relevant to the time period when he moved from Connecticut to Washington. That's just my own opinion on that. You would have to talk to LSB or LSB about that to get the full details on it, because I'm confident that he would know. Or James the Lesser, or Agent Proper. Those are my big 3 that I think would know for sure. So you're telling me that's what the situation is, when he was already spending literally thousands and thousands of dollars the first fucking week or 2 that they were there in Connecticut to get everything, to get the place furnished, to get food in the house, to get all the services up. He admitted it. The walkthrough when they get to Connecticut, or when they get to Seattle, Washington State, he talks about all of that. He talks about all the stuff that they had to get done, all the stuff they had to go out and buy. It's all there. All the evidence and all the proof is there. At least as far as I see. I might have to rewatch some of it just to make sure. But in general, it's all pretty consistent. And why would he need to buy 2 coffee makers in Connecticut? What would be the point of that? And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from the same idiot who bought a PS4 for Panda. Panda didn't want it because she wanted to wait for Watch Dogs to come out. And so instead of her keeping the console until Watch Dogs actually came out, she told Phil she didn't want it. And Phil ended up giving the PS4 away because he didn't want it because his PS4 was fine. So you think he would give away a brand new PS4 Pro, but he would give away a new PS4, which is really just a hand-me-down gift from Panda, because Panda didn't want it, but he would keep a coffee maker in the box in one of his closets until he moved over to Washington State. And this is coming from the same individual who had a box full of like Street Fighter posters and FGC memorabilia and shit like that, just like fighting game posters and all kinds of crazy shit. And he fighting game scroll, all that. And he abandoned that shit at the condo. He was like, fuck it, I'm not taking it. He abandoned all that, which actually meant something. Excuse me. That was part of his FGC lore. He could have actually given that stuff away. But he decided to abandon that so he can take a brand new coffee maker that's been sitting in the box forever. And he knows by the time he knows that it's probably outdated slightly, at that particular time anyway. He could have just given that one to his parents. I'm just trying to throw some narratives at you. You guys, like I said, I'll wait and hear what you guys have to say about it. But none of that really makes any sense when you think about it. He bought a new coffee maker. Just deal with it. We already know it. Just deal with it. Just deal with it.
When I lived in Connecticut, and I bought it when I lived in Connecticut when I was making a ton of money on YouTube, right? So they see this video from like 2-3 years ago when I'm living here in Washington, and I'm like, okay, I'm a live streamer now. I need contributions via stream. Like, he doesn't need contributions. He can afford a $300 coffee maker. Like, yeah, $300 coffee maker I bought like 5-6 years ago when I was making insane money on YouTube. It was a completely different situation. Like, what are you even talking about? But you see what I mean? Like, just a little stupid shit like that, they could turn into something negative, right? So, I used to do full home tours and everything, and never ends. They would find little things to nitpick and turn into nasty, defamatory stuff. To the point where I got fed up. I'm like, what am I doing this for anymore, Like, right now, the way we have it is really working well, and we love the fact that we have our own private life that you guys don't know about, except for the few things we share with you when I talk with you on streams and stuff. So,
speaking of which, another thing that he wants to call nitpicking, but it was always a dumb decision to make. There's a DSP tries it. I know Mighty D has on his channel, and I know there's a couple other people. Snort Burnell definitely has on their channel too, where he's making tacos, yeah. And he put it was like maybe 1.5 pounds. It may have been even 1.25 pounds of lean ground meat, whatever it was. And what he does is he puts the pound in, or what he estimates is a pound, and the other 1/4 pound or so that's still in the package, that all he had to do was re-wrap up and put it in his freezer, and he could have made, I don't know, a burger out of it or something later on down the line. Or he could have just cooked it in there with the rest of the taco meat, and then whatever he doesn't eat, he puts in a container and puts it in his refrigerator for later. Could have made like a small taco out of it. Might have made a chimichanga, whatever. Use some variety. He throws about a 1/4 pound. It might have been almost 1/2 pound, but I think pretty sure it was like a 1/4 pound. He threw a 1/4 pound of meat in the garbage because, oh, well, this is all I need for my tacos, and I don't really need this part, so I'm just going to toss it. He just tosses it away. He threw it away because, oh, I don't need this much meat. Instead of wrapping it up or just cooking it and then saving it for later, he decides to toss it. That's how wasteful this guy is. So we're supposed to believe that he bought 2 coffee makers because, like I said, there was already a coffee maker in his condo at that time. We're supposed to believe that he bought 2 coffee makers and just left one in the box, brand spanking new, in his condo for years because he was making so much money. He thought, oh, you know what? I'll get 2 coffee makers, and then if I ever do get my own office space, which is what he wanted in Connecticut, he was actually talking about renting a piece of office space out just so he can play his video games in, so he doesn't have to do it at home. Another piece of hot lore for you guys, just in case you didn't know. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one coffee maker, and I'll actually use it, but the other one I'm going to hold on to for later on down the line. Either he's extremely wasteful of his money, or he is a pathological liar, or he's both.
Why on earth would we ever risk that to do a fucking home vlog tour or whatever? Where is the benefit? It wouldn't even be logical to do it.
He's talking so much. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up.
Because that's what some people were saying, actually, was, oh, Phil, now that you revealed that you have a cat, that must have been your big hidden secret, and that's why you didn't do a home tour. You're going to do vlogs in your house now? No, I'm not. I'm okay with how things are. Why the fuck do I want to ruin that, Jasper was like a big thing. Jasper was a huge exception that I would share something like that with you. By the way, like I said, Jasper I had for a while before I even revealed him to you guys that I had a cat. And I really feel that, waiting for the wedding to pass and the fact that I needed help earlier this year with my taxes and all of that, let all that pass. And by the way, that's the other thing, too. Like, I could have easily brought him in. Phil brought him in as a way to scam people out of money.
This is the God's honest truth.
Dude, I needed money for taxes way more earlier this year than I needed anything else. I could have easily brought him in as, like, a gimmick for the taxes. And I purposely kept it a secret during that time frame. You know what I mean? If you just logically apply some of the nonsense people say about me with facts, it all falls away, If I was ever going to use, Jasper as some kind of a tactic, oh, look, a way to convince people to give money and stuff, I would have done it during the tax situation when I needed money for taxes, and I didn't, right?
But that's what you did when you got married. You lied to everybody, because before he left to Connecticut, people asked him, are you going to get married? No, I'm not going to get married. I can't afford it. It's just a vacation to kind of see my parents for one last time, just in case things go bad or whatever bullshit that was. he comes back. So while he's out there, they get married, throws his shit all over Instagram and shit, trying to weaponize it. So then when he does the podcast that he announced before he left to Connecticut, he was hoping to drum up a bunch of money, which is what happened. So the wedding was planned from the jump anyway. He can't walk that off. So there was no benefit of not letting Jasper out the bag at that point. But yet again, as Snort Burnell said, he couldn't do that because he was going to go off script with it. You got to break up every one of these little opportunities as their own little cash grabs. So instead of doing just one large cash grab, which at the end of the day, that's all it was going to be. Oh, I got to break them up into little segments so people don't, so I can get the maximum amount of money out of everybody. Jesus Christ.
Your hiring manager did a 100-bit cheer and said, "Why would I believe you about anything? When you lied about being engaged, you lied about the wedding, you lied about the cat, so how can I believe anything you say?" Then don't. Who cares? I'm a gameplay streamer, right? I got
Well, you're an interactive streamer. You're not a gameplay streamer. You're an interactive streamer, first thing. Second thing is, who cares if people believe me? This is what this idiot said. Who cares if people believe what I say? But then he turns around and gets mad that people don't take him seriously. And that he doesn't have credibility like he alleges that he used to have. He doesn't have an authoritarian like position because of all the haters and trolls and shit for screwing everything up. But he's the one who's sitting here saying that if you don't believe him, he don't care. Oh boy.
Exposed. Oh, woe is me, I'm the victim complex guy. I'm a gameplay streamer. Do you like the gameplay I put out on my streams? No. Do you find my streams entertaining? No. If the answer to those is yes and you want to see it continue, then contribute. If the answer to those is no, I don't trust you as a person, I don't like you, then move on and stop watching me. It's that simple.
You're hiring manager, you don't have to be here. There are 5 zillion other people on planet Earth that you can watch. If you really don't fucking trust me, move on. But the truth of the matter is, people won't. They latch on.
No, that's not the case at all. So here's the thing. If you don't trust me, you don't believe me, move on. But those people who've been there for a while, right? Or who have really stuck in with you, you know what I'm saying? Day in, day out, and who have contributed probably large amounts of money to you, or at least modest amounts of money, they're gonna feel like they got burned. So they're going to want to take it to social media and be like, yo, this is bullshit what this guy did, and I feel like I got screwed over. That's what happened to the bottom line is. But he don't want that. Basically, if I rip you off and you're okay with being ripped off, then shut the fuck up, keep coming to stream, and keep contributing. If you don't like it, leave. But don't say anything when you leave either. Like there's like an invisible gag order that says when you leave the realm of Galtopia, you can never speak about what happened in Galtopia. You just take the L and move on. That's not how life works. If people feel like they've been jaded, ripped off, burned, lied to, whatever the case may be, they're going to seem to call it out. I mean, they may only call it out once or twice and then just move on, which you probably should do from a general standpoint. But some people might not, because then now you have a whole group of people who feel the exact same way. And then they're going to be like, well, what did he rip you off on? Or what did he screw you over on? This, that, and the third. And then they spend all this time avoiding the detractors or the critics or the haters because you basically told them that they were all liars and they all made it up. And now they're going to want to go over there and actually take a look and see what these people have to say. And then that becomes even more problematic because now they're going to be like, well, this is why he told us to stay away from you guys. Because you guys really were telling the truth. I mean, you're a goddamn idiot, Phil. He makes it too easy. He really do. He makes it too easy.
Like fucking, like ticks, and they suck the blood slowly, and they do everything they can to just do negative shit and just attack, and I'm just tired of it, you know? I'm just a guy who wants to sit here and play games, and I have to hide shit from you, like the engagement, like the wedding, like the cat, because people attack me so fucking much.
Little sensitive sissy ninny, you know? They really are. Little special snowflakes who've been petting, you know, protected by their parents all their lives.
I was upfront and honest first. I was one of the most honest guys on YouTube for some 6+ years. I shared everything in my life privately with you guys. You knew everything that was going on every day with me. You know what I mean? And people use that incredibly dishonestly, incredibly messed up ways to fuck my life over. So now why the fuck would I be honest and upfront about all my private shit? You're out of your mind. Is these people have this crazy obsession that I must be 100% transparent about everything in my life? It's nuts. Like, why? Planet Jeff.
Why is because they have to. You need their help to pay your taxes. You need their help to keep their house or to keep your house. You need their help for you to just continue to function, to keep playing games for a living. If you think about it if you think about all of this in the larger scale, yeah, in the bigger picture, they pay for everything now. They cover everything. It's not like Phil's doing this for a living and these people are just supplemental income. These people are the income. And I said that almost from the hop when I started doing this, that he was going to figure out a way to get these people to pay for everything. They were literally going to pay for everything. When the tax thing came around, I automatically knew he was going to have them paying for everything at that point. All of his bills are covered by these people. All of his taxes are being covered by these people and mommy and daddy. All of his day off, and so all of his casual money, if you will, is covered by these people. They pay for everything. He sits there and tells you that he works, right? But where did that actually even come from? His YouTube video, which is nothing more than just a rip from his stream. The stream is where all the money's at, because the stream is where all the people are contributing. That's what it is. And if you look at his income as a whole, which trust me, there's the best and brightest are already doing it, you're gonna find that the majority of his money, his income, is contributions. He doesn't run enough ads on Twitch for it to be super lucrative. I'm sure it's probably bringing some money in, but not to be super lucrative. So that all comes from contributions. He says he doesn't have any sponsorship deals. He can't get them, I should say. So he's not doing no outside sponsorships. It's all crowdfunding. But now he wants to tell the very people who he depends on, oh, if you don't believe me, don't give me a chance to try to defend myself, or maybe me get off my fucking ass and try to actually go through my own shit and try to get you guys actual proof, which would pay off. Oh, you either take my word for it if you don't, get the fuck out. Wow.
Tip me $21. Thank you very much for the top tip tonight, Planet Jeff.
Are you a functional retard? I have to ask.
However, it says you tipped twice, and I'm wondering if it's screwed up, because it's the same message twice. I think it's an error. I think that Streamlabs showed a double up. And I want to confirm that, because if you did tip me twice by accident, I want to let you know, so maybe I can refund the double tip. What? That wasn't even possible.
This shocks me.
Because obviously I don't think you intended to tip me the same amount twice. So hold on one second while I confirm this. Dude, I think it did tip twice. Planet Jeff, I think it did a double tip by accident. According to this, it did do a double tip. So Jeff, if you're okay...
What a hoe. Look at him dangling at the end of fucking Planet Jeff's financial dick. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. That he would sit there and grovel like this. Now keep in mind though, ladies and gentlemen, allegedly, I want to take you guys back to Christmas of 2017. Not 2018, not last year, because last year was a complete total failure. And it was so much of a failure, but I'm gonna be a dick now. 2018's Christmas marathon or Christmas situation was such a fucking utter failure that this idiot right here, Phil, wasn't even man enough to show up for the rest of the week. He knew he was gonna fail. He knew nothing good was going to come out of it. He wasn't going to pull the money that he pulled in 2017. He knew it. So he just abandoned it he abandoned it outright. He just gave it all up. He was just like, fuck it, I'm taking the rest of the week off. And then came up with the usual excuse, I was sick. I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. That room temperature eggnog that I was drinking is what made me sick, guys, and it made me depressed because I had such a bad time and you guys weren't giving me money. That's how 2018 went. Utter failure. But let's jump to 2017, when everything was still fresh and he had all these dilemmas and problems and shit, and people actually believed him. That's probably the last real time they believed him. Okay, you guys remember Christmas stream? He looks over and he's like, I don't know if this is real or not, guys, but this is it looks like I got $1,000 tip from Santa Claus. Now, I don't know if this is real or not, but if it is, thank you. Really, thank you. That allegedly was Planet Jeff. Allegedly, Planet Jeff was the one who kicked out that $1,000 in 2017. So Phil is going to do whatever he can to be a good hoe and try to keep Planet Jeff happy, which is rather disgusting. It's just that's rather disgusting. Oh my god, that's just degrading. Ugh, horrible. Oh, they say money is the root of all evil. But it's not even just the fact that money is the root of all evil, right? It's what some people, keyword, it's what some people are willing to do for it. So when I call Phil a hoe or a whore, I mean it. Because that's what he is. Because that's what he's shown me. The ways of the pig, if you will. Define sniff.
With that, you know, let me know. If you're not, I will refund you that duplicate tip, because it's two exactly the same tips for $21, but and with the same message, but there's two different transaction IDs. So I think that maybe PayPal errored out or something. I don't know what the hell happened, man. Okay, you just said in the stream chat, no worries. Alright, I just wanted to be honest with you, because I thought that it had fucked up, and you know, yeah, I don't know why I double charged him. That's messed up.
And don't worry, yes, I'm going to play more. I know people are going nuts because I'm not currently playing the game and I'm just talking, but don't worry, we're going to get back to more gameplay.
Planet Jeff tipped me $21 and says, my last tip to you caused a massive amount of grief directed at me, but I really don't care. They don't understand and they never will. I do find it funny and ironic that I named a cat a little before little Jasper's reveal because I had no idea that DSP had a cat. Right.
Wait, before you get into your pig splaining about this, I want you to hear this for a minute. So Planet Jeff, the lore around him is he allegedly lost his wife recently. That's a sad situation, by the way. So no jokes there. So now Planet Jeff has been supplemented with, I guess, her insurance money, life insurance money, and he's been giving that to Phil. Not all of it, obviously, but you know he contributes a little more when he can. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because what Planet Jeff just said. You know, I got a lot of grief over my last large contribution to you, but they don't understand and they never will. That sounds like the dumb shit that people say when they're in a one-sided relationship. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they don't understand what we have, right? It's something special between you and me, and they'll never know. They'll never understand it. They'll never get it. So I don't care. That's what that sounds like. And that's what this sounds like. And this is a man who just recently lost his wife and some fucking greedy ass pig. That's what this is. That's what this forbidden friendship is. That's kind of stupid. I'm sorry. It's kind of dumb. Like if you want to give Phil every last dime that you have so he can keep going, doing what he's doing, fine. So be it. Don't say stupid shit like that. Just be like, hey, I got a lot of grief over it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to support you. Just do that. Don't get into saying silly shit like that. That just sounds dumb. It sounds really, really dumb. And it sounds extra. It sounds really, really extra.
Jeff was a very generous tipper during last week's event where I was trying to raise funds via tips to help me pay bills for the month. And he did it. Listen to some of the conspiracy theory. Jeff, I don't even know if you heard about some of these, alright? One conspiracy theory is that I had behind the scenes, I had talked to Jeff. And he had already...
Yeah, while you're trying to pry open a Planet Jeff's wallet, yeah, you probably should look him in the eye while you're doing it. I guess that's that emotional connection that only the two of you guys have. So yeah, and since you're in your emotions right now and your feelings, you're gonna tell us the plan, huh, Phil? You're just gonna go ahead and explain it to us. Alrighty, here we go.
That he was gonna tip me this certain amount of money during the stream. So if I didn't hit the goal, he would tip me anyway to make it look like artificially I had hit the goal so everyone would be happy. And so the plan was always that I was going to reveal Jasper no matter what, that it was a big conspiracy, but I was trying to basically lie to people and pretend like it was a legit fundraiser to scam more money out of my viewers. This is what they actually said. Like, they actually said behind the scenes we had this elaborate fucking plan set up to scam money out of other viewers. Like, what? Like, what? Where did you even get this from? What really happened was we hit the goal... Right? I revealed Jasper, and then Planet Jeff came in late and was like, wow, that's amazing. Here's another nice tip. And I was so grateful. You know, by the way, Jeff, just so you know, between all the tips I raised that day, it saved my butt this month. This is the first month I didn't overdraw my bank account since March. I'm not even kidding. This is the first month I didn't overdraw my bank account because of the people who came in and were very supportive. So that was amazing. Thank you for that. I just want to let you know how much that actually helped. Okay? And here you go. Here's Moron. This guy,
you said this is the first month in a while that you didn't overdraft, right? Because of that extremely large tip, so on and so forth, yeah? Okay. Fair enough. But the thing is but the only reason why that can't be true, because isn't the usual spiel is, hey guys, I need you guys to really tip me today. I really need you guys to come through with the tips because I'm getting close to overdrafting, or I don't want to overdraft this month, but I'm waiting on this Twitch payment and I got all these other obligations and certain things are coming up, so please help me out. And during these small cycles, hundreds of dollars come in through tips, hundreds, if not more, on top of whatever money is being contributed behind the scenes on that tips leaderboard. Okay, that tips leaderboard there, that's on Streamlabs, or is it Streamlabs? Yeah, I think it's Streamlabs. Yeah, that's on Streamlabs that he hid after Tevin revealed it. So he's been allegedly avoiding overdrafts for a little while now. So how's he going to sit there and tell Planet Jeff that bullshit? That this is the first month that he didn't have to worry about it, when theoretically he's been avoiding it for at least the last couple of months. Well, that's something to think about, I suppose. That's something to think about.
A conspiracy nut in the stream chat saying I did talk to him behind the streams and this was my evil plan all along. They think this. They're that nuts. I don't have any contact with Jeff outside of the streams. What are you talking about? Yes, Jeff is really my secret friend, and he funnels fake money to me behind the scenes. Like, what on earth is going on? What? But anyway,
why does any of this matter, though, when you just said that if people don't believe you, you don't care, just leave? So why are we making a big emphasis on this? You basically put out there that that I'm not trustworthy and I'm not honest, and if you can't accept that, then just leave. Because no honest individual would say that. Just saying. No honest person would actually do that. Oh shit. Especially on something that's as important as your livelihood. Putting that into perspective.
Yeah, I appreciate the tip. First of all, you're the top tipper of the night. Let me get you up on the leaderboard for that $21 tip. And incidentally, it did it twice, so really that's $42 in tips, so we're actually up to $96 in tips right now, which is amazing. Thanks, everybody. It's crazy, Jeff, and I apologize publicly, and I'll say this to you, Jeff, and to everyone. Anyone who contributes to me, I'm really sorry that these fuckheads come after you guys. I don't know what I can do about that, you know what I mean? Like, I do what I can to try to protect you and make sure that information doesn't get out when you guys contribute. FYI, you know, I've taken steps and things that private information usually won't get out for people who do these kind of contributions, and, you know, I'm so appreciative of them because they help me. Oh, let's see here. Babyman Gaming Gremlin Cheer said, what other than the money raised changed that allowed you to finally share the good news of Jasper? Not necessarily too much. It was just like, Kat and I talked about it, and we definitely wanted to share Jasper with the world this summer. We knew we couldn't share him earlier than the wedding, because we were nervous that when we weren't here, that someone would literally try to break into our house and fuck with stuff. And it's one thing to fuck with our belongings, whatever, you get insurance. But what about if something happened to Jasper, right? So we had to keep all that stuff completely secret.
Wait! Okay, now let's be honest here about Jasper, okay? Now, I think Jasper's actually kind of young. I think Jasper is younger than 2. That's just my own personal opinion. But if someone walked into the house that Jasper wasn't familiar with, right? Jasper, more often than not, is going to be a bit standoffish, a little bit, which makes a whole lot of sense. Now, Phil just said, if somebody messes with our stuff, no big deal, we have insurance. Why would anybody break into this man's house to do anything to an adolescent cat for no real reason? Like, the worst that would come out of it, not even worst, well, worst for them, I guess, or really for Catherine, because it's her cat, is that someone puts Jasper in a bag and then they hightail it off with him. Outside of that, what are they going to do? What is really going to happen to Jasper? Are they going to declaw his back claws too? And then leave him on the counter with a note under it saying, always remember? Are they going to do some dumb shit like that? No. If anybody's going to break into your house, Phil, they're going to take anything that's of value. All of that's upstairs. They're going to clean that shit up, and they're gone. Jasper will more than likely, with all the loud noise and everything, Jasper will more likely be hiding under something. The cat's not a priority. Hell, even most small dogs aren't a priority. Throw them a couple pieces of bologna. Once they eat that, take them and throw them into a bathroom or something. With larger dogs, you come in, you're smart. As a cute pup myself, you better come in with a you better come in with a steak, and you better hope that I finish that steak. I don't finish that steak before you finish leaving that house. If not, it's gonna be your ass, Mr. Postman. But in either case, why is it that he constantly? And then this goes to the next narrative. I live in a gated neighborhood. It's completely and totally safe. It's illegal to walk down my neighborhood or my street if you don't live here. But then he's talking about people are gonna break in and fuck with Jasper, or people are gonna come in and fuck with his house. Like, get the narrative. Like, pick a narrative and stick to it. You can't keep flip-flopping on all this. Either you are a tormented soul that everybody wants to see dead, or you're just a paranoid sociopath who has no grasp on reality anymore, outside of what's online. You're so scared of the real world that you don't want to interact with it. That's why you need a panda. That's why you need a Catherine, so they can do that for you, and you can kind of just gauge it through them. And the online world, you allegedly say you're terrified of, but yet you keep interacting with it. So pick one, man. Pick a narrative and stick to it, please. Please.
A certain point. And then, when we came back from the wedding and all of that, now we had to go through months of financial problems and stuff. All this stuff that happened behind the scenes, I still haven't even told you guys about that. Really, it's still messed up, or it's going to be messed up for years, probably. And
I question any of that, but let's let him continue.
So, you know, I'm not going to now start talking, oh, things really suck now financially, but by the way, we have a cat that we've had for a while, and then people would start, screaming. I knew no matter when I introduced Jasper, people were going to be negative about it no matter what, and say, oh, I shouldn't have a cat because I have financial problems, but I didn't feel that it would make sense at that point to just all of a sudden, oh, we're back from a wedding we didn't tell you guys about until it happened, oh, by the way, we have a cat, right? I didn't think that was the way to go about it. So, the truth of the matter is...
I mean, you took a whole lot of grief over the marriage because you lied. You might as well have just wrapped Jasper in all that too. But no, see, you wanted to profit off both situations. That's what it came down to.
Just wanted things to calm down a bit. We wanted things to kind of calm down and not be so super serious. So we waited purposely until the summer when we know things calm down around the streams. There's not a lot of new releases and drama going on. And that's why we kind of decided to do it now.
It's basically a con artist. I'm an artist. Phil's a scam artist.
Okay, Me Pistol Meltdown cheers. Since you're on the theme of openness, why is it such a big secret on how you met your wife? Why don't you want to share that with us? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's not much of a secret. It's an interesting story, but it basically has... Oh, wow. It basically has information about her private background in life. And by the way, it's not the bullshit that idiots talk about on the internet and, again, make conspiracy theories about. It's actually a very different situation than that. And it's a private situation of her life that is not my place to speak about, okay? The story of Kat and I meeting and how it came to be and how we started dating and everything came at a time of stuff going on in her life that's very private, and it's her place if she ever wants to publicly talk about that stuff, not me. Alright, it would be unfair for me to even talk about any of that stuff on a stream because it's not my life, it's hers, and the shit that she was going through in her private life is no one's business, especially if she's not a part of my streams. So that's the thing, you asked that question, and you want to hear about this story, I can't tell it. I can't tell it without her permission, and she doesn't want to be part of the stream, she doesn't want her stuff on the internet, so... So what happens is the detractors and assholes make shit up or find unrelated things about her past up and assume that that's what it is and just make stories up out of nothing and say that it's fact, and people believe it because they're dumb fucks.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
I barely ever rage quit anything in my life. Very rarely do I rage quit games, but these idiots spread the slander and the defamatory lie about me so much, making it sound like truth that people believe it to this day. They actually think that I quit a ridiculous amount of games. In reality, I've actually beaten most of the games I played. It's just complete nonsense. Johnny Skinmarch said, what about the 7-hour video of you rage quitting games? Is that just written off as a detractor? Dude, okay, there's a 7-hour video of me rage quitting games out of 11 years. So out of 11 years... out of every single day, the first 2 years that I did this, it was 2.5 hours a day. When I started doing this full-time for YouTube, it was like 10 plus hours a day. And it's been like that ever since. So you're talking how many thousands of hours.
Wait, I thought he said when he did YouTube, it was only a 6-hour day. Or it was like a 4.5 to 6-hour day. Now it's a 10-hour day. Get the fuck out of here.
Found 7 hours of rage quitting. Do you see my point?
Now, wait, actually, let me backtrack. Let me backtrack, because... he did play multiple new games on, like, release day. So, or release night or whatever the case may be. So, I would say some days then. I can't say that I don't think he actually played video games 10 hours a day every day. That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. Especially when he was breaking them up into between 10 and 30-minute segments. I don't know. Listen.
Truly take the amount of games that I finished and compare it with the amount of games that I didn't finish, and you'll find the ratio is minuscule and tiny. But because some idiot made a 7-hour video of only the times that I rage quit, people don't know that I've been around for 11 years and have played more games than anyone else and think, oh wow, this is a guy that just rage quits all the time. And that's stupid and ignorant, but that's what they believe.
Oniony, salty aftertaste in my mouth.
Then you tipped me $1 and said I got the ban hammer for saying oink in the chat. What is that about? I don't know. I don't even know if that's a banned word or not. It depends on the context that you said it. I guess what I could do is look it up. Let's see. Well, gee, let's see. You said I have Alzheimer's. Then you said I sold Jasper into slavery. And then you said oink, and then you got banned. I mean, are you an idiot? I guess the answer is yes. You said I have Alzheimer's.
My brain's not what it used to be, guys. My Alzheimer's is kicking in, you know?
You said that I made Jasper a slave, then you said oink, and you got banned, and you wonder why you got banned. It's because you're an idiot. So there you go. Thank you, Frog with the party hat for the $1 tip. The ban stands because you're an idiot. Wow.
It's a lot of fun to lean forward and do that lean-in ban.
Oh boy, Rumpelstiltskin has tipped me $2. It says, how long will I be in purgatory? I want to use my emotes as an addict. I need to confront my issue cold turkey, take on chat with kindness and love. Oh my god. I told you a million times, dude. Like, how many chances do I give this guy? Okay, let me ask those in the stream chat. Do I give Rumpelstiltskins yet another chance? Everyone's saying, alright, yes, last chance. Last final chance. Oh my god. I'm gonna give Rumpelstiltskin one more chance. I mean, every day it's becoming a running meme now that this guy every day. I like the guy. I think that he's fun. I think that he's a funny and fun guy, but he just keeps violating the damn rules. Alright. Last chance. I unbanned him. Now he tipped me another $3 and said, alright, sounds good. Love ya. Alright.
It's borderline obsession that you're basically throwing tons of money at someone who is not reciprocating the same feeling for you. It's a crush, basically. And
wait, real quick. So Rumpelstiltskin basically was given a community vote, and they were letting him back in. But didn't Third Eye? Why didn't he give that to Third Eye the Third? He deserved that chance, don't you think? I'm so confused.
If that's the case, you should not be spending money on this person. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that, in an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. By eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but
let's end it on that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and you know how this works. Let's clean up. So, oh boy, messed up there a little bit. My bad. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, cool. So, what do we think of this whole situation? So, the last video was the Jasper nonsense and the whole thing behind that reveal. I personally found it disgusting that he was willing to dangle from Planet Jeff's financial penis like that. That's pretty gross to me. But Phil is what he is. As for unbanning people in exchange for money, you kind of just saw that with Rumpelstiltskin a little bit. He was getting over pretty big on that one. And then for the whole low contributions continuing and people don't know how to choose games for events, it's just hurtful. But at the end of the day, he wants to add all these stipulations onto, the games that are chosen, and why should he have to play such games when he's not familiar with them, or he hasn't played them an X amount of time, so on and so forth. You're supposed to go into the games bumbling, stumbling, and failing. That's the whole point of the Rageathon. You're not supposed to succeed, you're supposed to fail. And you're supposed to fail, and it's supposed to be profitable for you because you fail. Because when you're failing, you're raging. That's why I don't even understand. He should just play ranked Street Fighter V, right? He should do ranked Street Fighter V and Super Turbo for the next Rageathon. That's it. I don't want to see no other games. I don't care about no other games. That's all I want. I want that. If there has to be a third game, I want Mario Tennis. Or Mario Kart. One of the two. So that's my thoughts on that. Let's see here. The unbanning people for money. It is what it is. Cheesing through games. It's just what he does because he's stalling for time for a lot of it. He's trying to stretch out playthroughs. He's been accused of that before. And then the chill stream. After the con job that he pulled with Jasper, it's just another day in the life. Take of it what you will. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a really long one, and I had a lot to say. And it's just amazing how I get triggered with stuff like that. But it's kind of what happens. So my apologies if it seemed like a bit much. Dialogue heavy. But I very much appreciate you guys showing up to the broadcast. Hope things go well for you guys, and I'll see you guys whenever the next one happens. Phil, or anybody who watches Phil, you have to clip out certain segments. He needs to hear. I think he needs to hear at least some of what I said. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. He thinks he has more time than he really does, and if he don't smarten up, time's gonna pass him by, and he can't do anything. The only thing he has now is he still has the ability to walk, to talk, to actually do something. If he doesn't take advantage of those things now or doesn't do what he can to preserve them, he's going to have nothing. And that's just coming from a brain-dead detractor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next broadcast, whenever that might be. Hopefully sooner than later. For the Snort Report. Oh my god. So rough. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. End of broadcast. Wow. I'm just a gameplay. I'm just a gameplay streamer, and yet you got all this controversy around you. Who would thought?